He should be live. Aha! Aha!
Right, partridge.
I thought you said partridge. I don't know why my mind went there. Yeah.
Hello, Luke.
Hello,
Let's
Luke.
go woo woo.
Yeah, Ash,
Yeah, we're back.
Ash, just to let you know, on the 1985 timeline, we are in the first week of June. Hassan is still alive. They haven't caught him yet. They haven't caught him.
Not for long. Not for
Yeah,
long.
probably when we do the 2 episodes tomorrow, the 4 episodes tomorrow, it'll be like, let's end it off on the end of June. Oh, he's dead. Oh, great. SD Cricket Fan wants me to do a worm, and wants me to do the spin on Rooney and Luke to do the worm when Hassan dies as a tribute. Are you going to? What dance move are you going to do? We'll film you doing one. Just get the banana costume on you. You'll be fine.
Yeah, one of those ones.
Yeah, the streams have been fun this week, though. They have been fun. I do appreciate everyone who's tuned in to the streams, who've watched, who have commented. Yeah, I appreciate everyone.
I like how Luke's copying the fucking follow the spam bot we had the other day. XX. Kisses. Hi.
Right, didn't mean to. he's copying the bloody cheeky monkey. Party of one, he says. Alright. Don't worry, people will come when the episode's finished, not when it starts. Hopefully. That's not happening. The earth will shatter if I try to do the worm.
Not bad. Not
Fair
bad.
point. Fair point. How have you been, Ash? How has your week been?
Yeah, I've been doing alright. I watched a Channel 4 comedy called Big Boys, which had a surprising focus on gay sex, which was a good show, to be fair.
Were you
Hollyoaks
watching it?
alumni Dylan Llewellyn, he was there. He was honestly, it was really good. Big Boys on Channel 4, nice little like coming of age little sitcom type deal. It was pretty good. I had a good time with it.
Were you watching it for the comedy, or were you watching it for the action?
Never you mind. None of your fucking business. No, it's a really good show. My sister recommended me it, and yeah, no, it was really good. I would recommend watching Big Boys on Channel 4. Also has fuck, what's her name? The woman who played the woman who played Jackie Tyler as the mum, and she's fucking phenomenal at doing that. So it's great. That was a really good show. Also with Aunt Babe in it, she was there. In all the roles, she's surprisingly based.
It's 7:30, so I'm going to play the episode now. If that's all right with you, Ash.
Yeah, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Gotta make sure my desktop audio is muted. Yeah, that isn't coming out. That's grand.
I'm a big boy, but not in the way I wish I was. Fuck's sake. Mate, some point you just have to let other people make the joke. You don't have to always make the joke yourself.
Right, so we are 23 seconds in, and about 1, 2. There we go. And Phil is making a cup of tea.
I need to turn the fucking stream up. Camille Kaduri, yes. She is tremendous. And that Badland, yeah, yeah. I do like how I've been seeing a bunch of all of the people talk about Grant, where someone does where it's like, look, a fry up in the calf on me. It's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, someone
Nobody
described
speaks like
that.
this.
Someone described his acting as like he's in a documentary.
When I wake up and I know I'm going to be the man who wakes up next to you. It's fucking, fuck's sake, Grant. Leave out. When I go out, we go out really fast. Fucking, it's ridiculous. Why does he do it? Why does he fucking do it? Reminds you of the Big Brother narrator on Channel 4. Dear 45. It's the same narrator now. Grant Mitchell is back with a fucking spanner in his hand, like. I don't know.
Max is on about banging
Got so
on
much
about his
talent in
hole.
his career. Look, he doesn't have to be he doesn't need to be a good actor.
No, I know. It's just the way he acts. How are you,
Yeah, it
Phil
is cheeks.
Mitchell?
How are you, Phil, my brother? Fucking hell.
My brother from a different mother. Grant, we're related in the show. My brother from the same mother. I need Grant doing like the Robert De Niro scene in the club where he's just singing the song.
Mate, I just keep putting shit out of his reach.
Me and the chatters were agreeing that like it's Nicola's own fault that people are turning their back against her. Like,
Hairball.
did you say hairball or pebble?
Hairball.
Oh,
Why the fuck would I say pebble?
I don't know. Maybe he has a pebble stuck in his throat.
Not me trying to sort out my PayPal so I can actually get that sweet, sweet YouTube ad revenue in the account and send it. But I can't be fucked. That's too much effort. Well, interest-free account on me. Mate, Mark, he did save your life. He is a big baby.
Mark, my son, will you sit down and have this fry up? Your mother, Michelle Fowler, is also a nonce.
Fuck's sake. She's gonna kill my daddy, bang my lamb. My daddy's gone by, bang my lamb. Push down the stairs, bang my lamb. Whoa, go Eddie, down the stairs. Whoa, Eddie, down the stairs. Wee, wee.
Like how Claire and Josh came back for this episode, and they're immediately gone.
Did fuck all. Really did fuck all.
I know, like,
Look,
you
I
might-
like the Claire stuff.
I
I
know you
don't know
might
what the fuck Lee was doing.
I know you might disagree. I thought she already opened the note.
Nah, she put it off. Ooh.
What's he, fucking Scott Hall? Or a ghost?
Haunting. And this was when Grant Mitchell narrated my life. What a day. I say that, I do understand it, because everybody's heard my narration in the video essays. That doesn't sound a fucking smidge like me normally.
No, I know,
So
but
you have to play it up.
No, but there's a big difference between acting
Yeah,
in a
obviously
show.
I'm not doing any acting, am I?
You think the acting, you'd speak in your normal voice, just hammed up a little bit. You don't go, "How are you, Mark Fowler?" Like, you don't talk like you're narrating your life. I, Piggy, went for a shit at 7:30, followed by a live stream on the Watching Walford channel. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
well,
easy.
that's when you realise you haven't gotten your fucking your content game gets taken up a notch. Day in the life of Piggy.
I got up. I went back to bed. I got
Slept
up again.
for 7 hours. Got up. Had a wank. Went to bed.
Had a pot noodle and a wank. I went back to sleep. Streaks.
God, I should really be focusing on Julie having a meltdown.
Want me to rewind this so we can actually listen to it?
Nah, look, I don't need to cover it.
Oh, here's Chelsea. She's going to be important in 2 weeks' time.
She's 40.
Yeah, she was in the show in 06.
Yeah, that is true. It has been 20 years. What an unremarkable life Chelsea's led. The new age Sam Mitchell. Even Sam Mitchell's not getting the scenes. Good luck, Chelsea. I didn't even get grief for that short that went out, me saying that Chelsea's never really found her way with the audience. And someone went, I do agree with your observation, but I do like her. I'm like, yeah. Less people calling me a prick. Say that, I do hope I look as good as she does at 40, because I'm fucking, I'm already like destination unknown. it's not that I don't. These eye bags ain't going away, and it's not even like I'm working myself to the tits, am I?
Huh? Well, I mean, I have to lie, of course. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
This week, I decided on the next script I'll do. I downloaded all the episodes, wrote about a day's worth of script, and went, "Ah." But fuck it, look. We built this up. It's an empire. It's an empire of content, never stopping. So say that I think the weather's swapped to being really warm. So like I swapped to like a thinner duvet to sleep with, as opposed to the chat's mother. I don't fucking know. And it's been really nice because it's been getting warmer. So I'm like, all right, but today I woke up sweating. I'm like, I'm betrayed. I am betrayed. How dare you? Mate, Phil's the Bank of Walford. He doesn't need your cash. I will say I did like Sam finally getting one up on someone in yesterday's episode. Sam actually having switched, like Sam and Billy actually swapping out the the watch. That was a fun little detail,
Poor Billy.
because usually it's like Billy walked out, stepped in a mud hole, and then shit his pants. Yeah, fucking hell, Billy. He played a blinder, didn't he?
I love how the wedding is next week and no one gives a shit.
Well, it is Vicky and Ross. I like Vicky, but Ross is a fucking wet wipe. He's so boring. He's not even fully bald. He's half bald. He's so milked out. I don't know, some fucking shit. Never stopping content and Ash do not go hand in hand. Let's go. Billy, the runt of the Mitchells, yet he does come good when it matters. I mean, he's laughing. He's laughing in the end. He's got the best head of hair in the Mitchell family. So
Oh yeah, totally.
fucking who won those genes? Fucking Billy, and his Turkish hairdresser. Somehow Julie will pronounce the country India. Be like, India! I'm going to India!
She just likes to add an A to
Julie's going to India!
it. Unless it's Grant doing it. Julie will be going to India.
Julie is going to India to take a trip of a lifetime. Fucking. One thing I've seen, I understand why people are saying it, but I've seen people genuinely upset at the fact of Julie leaving. But what's she staying for? Nigel's dead, guys. What's she just going to live it up with Phil Mitchell, the man who she only likes because she realised he wasn't all bad because he took part in taking care of Nigel? What's she going to do in Walford? Their life's not here. She was just here because Nigel was here. Nigel's not here anymore. It's time to go. I love Julie. I think she was tremendous. But do I want her just here, just being a teacher? No, I fucking don't. What is she gonna do without Nigel? Nothing. So thank you, Julie. But fuck off. Like, it's time to go. I'll happily wave you back in. But leave it whilst it's good. Also, she's doing the fucking. She's slipping out before everybody notices. How dare you, Julie?
She's doing what I do when I meet people and I don't want to say goodbye.
More like the me, to be honest. Oh, bloody hell! I've just got to go. I need a poo. Ah, fucking hell! If I don't leave in the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna shit myself. Next year, you're not getting married next year, you little fucking idiot. Oh wait, it's all about honeymoon. Yeah, because Mark's done a really good job of doing that so far. Also, I gotta say, I am quite disappointed with the Mark Fowler stuff. I like him, but he's another tragic character. He's another tragic character who just keeps getting himself into shit and then keeps lying about it. Like, oh, I don't feel bad for you, Mark, because you keep doing it to yourself. Stop fucking doing it to yourself. Stop gaslighting everybody. Stop lying, saying it's fine. Then maybe I'll start to feel bad for you. But right now, I don't feel bad for you because you're just a prick doing it to yourself. Like after Sideshow Bob walks into that rake for the 4th time, you go, all right, you just have a problem then, don't you? Like, I don't feel bad for you. You keep fucking doing it. Stop
That's just
doing
third
it.
Simpsons reference of the year.
Maybe I'll
folks.
feel bad. Yeah. Yolande has sat at the table trying to help George and Gina settle the score.
What was the game
Just
show?
like the time in 1573 where Henry Tudor married his 17th wife.
He's just gonna get people to play his game, his shit game show on BBC. I think it's called The Bridge or The Link.
Which one's that?
The Bridge or The Link. It's
Who?
one of them.
What? Whose game show?
Ross Kemp's.
No way he presents a game show on
He does.
BBC.
He generally presented a game show, and yes, it was as shit.
Well, I'm sure maybe he did present a game show, but I don't. I
He
refuse to believe
he hosted
he
one.
doesn't do it now.
He did one like 2-3 years ago.
Oh no, he does. He fucking hell. Is it still getting series?
What is it called?
Mate, it's called Bridge of Lies.
Yeah.
There's been about 150 episodes in about fucking 2-3 years.
Yeah, because he still presents it like how he talks as Ross Kemp. As Grant. Did Henry VIII break his toilet? Is that a truth or a lie? I know that's a different game show, but still.
Could Max go after Mark as has definitely been built up to make some sense as being seen with him as a threat to Lauren? I don't know, man. He's definitely going to have a vendetta, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So he can do the shitty game show, but he can't appear in his... Yeah, it's a BBC game show. Where is it? Where's it filmed? Where's it fucking filmed? Oh no, it's produced by STV, but it is on the BBC.
Yeah,
Julie. Don't know what that voice is.
Phil X.
Mag's been so good this year. I 100% agree. He's been tremendous. I'm glad that Gina's still here as well. I'll say that much. I was really worried whether she was going to struggle with Anna being gone, but she's fine.
So am I dropping frames,
Doesn't
by
matter.
the way?
Don't know. It should tell you.
It just says I'm
If you
dropping
are.
0.2%. I was just making sure the live stream's all right.
Oh, that's nothing. If you
Alright.
drop like 80% of your frames, get panicking. But if you drop 0.2, if you drop 0% 2 of your ass in a toilet, are you really having a shit?
It depends.
I don't think so.
Depends what day it is. It's Taco Tuesday.
Mark should have gotten his lesson from Sam from Corrie to stop getting kidnapped. He's not getting kidnapped.
But Mark did get kidnapped.
Oh.
He got kidnapped Tuesday.
I don't understand the fucking... Yeah, but Sam from Corrie's not getting kidnapped.
Oh, alright.
He's just shadowboxing people.
Yeah, no,
Also, one thing, I don't know if it's just been me feeling it. I feel like the mics have been fucking dodgy in these episodes. Like, sometimes it does just feel like they've had to dub it over when like the characters are slightly behind. It throws me off like once or twice, like an episode or two, where they'll be like in a slightly busy street and they'll have to like pitch up the microphone a little bit for it to work. Like, even this scene doesn't sound real. This scene sounds like George's in a booth having to fucking cover it.
Colin getting that fucking boot.
I mean, it would be a fucking asshole move if George was expecting her to be around it. Julie! Go on, jump it.
Ah.
Wholesome.
Oh, she always get half the fucking ownership of the car lot.
Mate, that's a lot.
Fair enough. Fair point.
She's getting that sweet half ownership money every month.
Oh, Peter's going to be in a mankini. Let's go. It'll be like Borat.
Gonna be laying down the law. There is such a wet wipe like Ian, but I do admire his commitment to it. I mean, it's why I'll never feel particularly... It's why I'll never... Basically, I like Lauren and Peter, and I do think they should be like the long-term couple in the end. But I feel like everybody gets at least one affair. And I'm more than happy for Lauren to cheat on Peter whenever she wants, because Peter's such a fucking loser. But he's consistent and he's a nice boy. But he is a wet wipe. You run out if you run out of fucking leaves in the jungle, just ask Peter. He'll sort it out. Fucking Grant. Wait.
Can I rewind it, Ash? I want to rewind it.
Yeah, go on.
No, I went too. Hold on. Here he comes. Here he comes. Harvey getting his double knee replacement surgery money in. Yeah.
It's also like I'm just imagining in law, like Grant's that kind of guy who people are like, are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? As he's like walking around, just like fucking doing that a fucking sting guy. Jon Snow. If I'm Cat, I'm doing the old. Also, I know that Grant's got his iconic leather jacket, but for fuck's sake. Your mum, the woman who birthed you.
This can't be the Duff Duff.
Obviously, Grant has gone a little bit overboard with his fucking shenanigans. But he did still sell his business for you and get your fucking the guy you working for
Also, hold
100K.
on here. Hold on here. How has he spent 50k already? Because remember, Ansel gave him 50k.
Dunno.
Like,
But fucking
from what we know, he
I
owns
don't know,
multiple.
man.
But like, from what we know, he owns multiple businesses. How is he? How are they not making profit? Like,
I mean, not all businesses make profit.
yeah,
Watching
but
Walford, for example. No, we're in the green probably.
no, but you get what I'm saying. He, from what we know about the lore of him in Portugal, is he owns multiple
He's
businesses.
supposed to be a high roller.
Yeah. So how the fuck's he gone bankrupt already? Just another.
Look, like I basically all I'm saying is Mark's done some underhanded shit, and Grant's also done some underhanded shit. But I don't know. Maybe you have a bit. Or maybe I have a bit more sympathy for Grant in this situation. He didn't need to help you. You would be dead. Mark, you'd be fucking dead.
Look,
But you decided. But no, we need a reason. And like, has he even said thanks to? Has he even said thanks to Sam either? Fucking doubt it. Mate, that leather's shit. Sorry. Just have to use that leather working background. Made some of those.
also, Julie should have got the Duff Duff. Fuck's sake. What a shit exit.
Yeah, but she wasn't going to get Julia's theme.
Yeah, but you at least give her the Duff Duff. She did work her ass off. Unlike Zoe Slater.
She got a Julia's theme. Bit of speed, weed, meth, coke. Fucking, I don't know. I'm on Grant's side in this one.
I just don't think he should have came back.
He did. He served his bit. He
He
did good.
didn't. He did not.
He got better as it went on.
He did not. Like the fact Claire, the stepdaughter to Nigel, only appears for 1 second, like fuck's sake. She had to film for Hollyoaks. Fuck off with that reason.
It was a short stint.
Yeah, but she should have been there for the death. Like if you look at like the homage they did to Nigel, she's there. Like she's a key part of his like life. He won custody for her, for fuck's sake. It's not like he just picked her up from school one day. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Are they gonna kiss?
Never seen a man that is playing 28 look so much older in my life. He must look 18 at the age of 5. Yeah. He's supposed to be 28. That is mental. He does look about 40.
Do not have them kiss, Wadey. Do not. That was a duff and a half.
I mean, it's got implications for the Flash.
So where the fuck are we getting Sharon Osbourne? Who gives a shit about Sharon Osbourne?
Oh, yeah, but Ozzy's there.
Yeah, I know, but like Sharon Osbourne, who has a problem with kneecap. Fuck you, Sharon. No one gives a shit about you. Your husband was the best bit about you.
Nah, to be fair, I don't know what the politics are, but Sharon Osbourne was like
she's
not based. Base is the wrong word. She was. Her and Ozzy were mental. Like my favorite Ozzy and Sharon story was the fucking Ozzy got high as fuck and brought a woman back to the apartment they were staying in Japan. And fucking obviously Sharon's like, what the fuck is this? Smashes a painting over her head and just fucking knocks her out. Go in here with my fucking husband. Boom. It's like fucking yeah.
Yeah, Sharon Osbourne sort of aligns.
I don't know anything else about her.
She aligns with Israel, so she voted for the UK in the Eurovision. Is all I need to say. Oh, she didn't vote for the UK in the Eurovision.
Nobody voted for the UK in fucking Eurovision.
Yeah, wouldn't it be better if you pulled out? Wouldn't have that been better? But no, you had to stay in it and embarrass yourself on like based Ireland. Get fucked. I don't think.
I like how Eurovision's the standard. Well, Eurovision.
I don't like this Duff. It's the shittest Duff of the week. The Duff should have been Julie. It was that simple. It's just Julie. She gave her life.
What about Julie leaving? Do you like? She's not leaving in the back of a black cab. She's just walking out of shop.
Yeah, but she was there. She done so much for the show, and in the years she was here, you at least give her something. Like it's stupid.
She got an exit. She could have left off screen.
Like, I'm just saying, all I'm saying is she should. Like, yesterday, the episode about Nigel's funeral doesn't even focus on Nigel's funeral. It focuses on the stupid Mitchells going to save a stupid child. Let him die. Focus on Nigel's funeral. The
Yeah,
funeral.
but it's the last hurrah of the
I
Mitchells
don't
together
care.
in a
I
way, because
don't care. You
Sam's
could have done it
leaving,
next
Grant's
week.
leaving.
You could have done it
Yeah,
next week.
what? You have to build up. I
Do it
thought
at
it
Vicky's
was.
wedding.
I thought it was like prime camp.
I thought
To
it
be
was
honest.
shit. Because the entire premise you build up that Nigel's funeral is going to be big. You don't even see him being buried. You bring him to a shit location, and you don't even show the funeral. And you don't even have Claire and Lee interact with most people. Fucking Lofty and Mary
Yeah,
the
but why would
punk
they?
got more
Like,
interaction.
Claire interacted with Lexi, and who the fuck does Lee know?
No, but
Lee
he
doesn't
goes
know
around.
anyone.
He goes around and goes, "Hello, my name's Lee." You know, it's something you say at a wake. Next small
Look,
talk.
what I'm saying is, he clearly only had like 2 lines for a reason.
I'm just saying it. The episode yesterday was so shit.
You know, I disagree. I thought it was one of the better episodes of this era.
No, I thought it was genuinely horrendous. We did not need a Mitchell crime gang up. You did not. You could have saved it for Vicky's wedding.
Yeah, but you have to build up to the future.
Yeah, you do it next week. Vicky's wedding. Which would make more sense because Mark's related to Vicky. That would make more sense. Mark's not really related to the Mitchells. He's grown up around Michelle. He's not. He doesn't
He is,
know
though.
them.
He's
Yeah, but he doesn't
in
know
this
them.
direction. He's a full-blown Bobby Mitchell.
He doesn't know them. He doesn't know
Like-
them. Like, he probably knows fucking half of Michelle's cats and dogs more than he knows the Mitchells.
Like obviously Julie's eulogy was really good. I like the stuff with Claire and Claire and Julie actually having their like mended relationship. I even liked Phil and Grant doing their little Nigel was a good man. he was my best mate. I loved him. I thought that was a nice little bit of
I just don't think the
Mitchell
crime should have been
goodness.
happening yesterday.
yeah, but
You do it
if
at
you're
the
not
wedding.
going to do it, then when are you?
Wedding. Because that actually intrigues people. To watch the wedding.
Yeah, but you'd be complaining if it happened next week, though.
I wouldn't. Because at least then Nigel got a proper send off.
Yeah, but
doesn't
he had a
even
good
get Ju-
exit in general.
He doesn't even get a Julius theme. He gets Julius theme for about 5 seconds.
He got a Julius theme, and then there was a Julius theme of all the Mitchells like looking towards Nigel and toasting him.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. It shouldn't have happened. It should have been him.
But he's
being
not
in
going
the
to get a Julius theme of him like his coffin burning in the fucking fire. You know what I mean? Like,
No, he's being
what are they supposed to do?
show him being buried.
Yeah, but I feel like that would be similar to like the Dufter for the Locks.
Yeah, but at least it'd be more worth it than fucking Lauren and Mark going, "No, let's make a deal. Let's be partners." Yeah. Shit, Duff.
You gotta set up the future, man. I don't know what you want.
I just wanted the episode at the funeral to be about the funeral and not this shit Mark stuff.
It was half and half.
Yeah, they didn't really focus on Nigel's funeral. They focused more on shit crime. Like, who really gives a shit about the crime boss Russell? The fucking guy from Up. Oh yes, I'm glad to see Russell the Adventurer from Up is now in EastEnders. I'm glad to see that. He's on Ozempic.
I mean, I liked it. that's
I thought it was a
that's
weak
the argument
episode.
over, really.
I thought it was a weak episode.
I thought it was good in comparison to what we've got.
No.
Because, yeah, I don't know. We were just going around in circles. So, I'm going to passively aggressive. Nah, fair enough. Like, it's not basic. I like how even my saying it's one of the better episodes of this era. It's still not a high bar. there's like 3 episodes that I don't even know. They have we have the Nigel Christmas episode, which is one of them. Probably have the Joel episode, where his crimes are revealed and he attacks Vicky. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even really.
It just makes me
But
also. Can he not be original, but coming up like with better names for what he's going to call with the fucking thing on the 4th of June? Like everything
what?
changes. Like yeah, you done that last year. In a flash, everything changes. The original.
Yeah, I guess. What would you call it?
TikTok.
It's even a fucking point.
I got you.
This is why the podcast is done, ladies and gentlemen.
I got you, didn't I? I got you. I don't.
He's complaining everything again.
I'm happy. I at least got a spark off of. TikTok on the clock, dude.
Fuck's sake. But yeah, you can just see me like turtle, and I'm like, oh, Piggy's complaining about everything again. He's stubbornly decided it's all shit, so it's all shit. There's no moving. Oh, fuck's sake. Is me trying to argue again? No, it's fucking shit. It's fucking shit. Why is it fucking shit? Crime shit. It's like, not again. Exactly.
What did you think of the week? Because you are the guest here.
It was all right. I didn't mind the week. Wednesday's episode was pretty good, in my opinion. I do like the setting up. I like the attempt, right? I thought it was a decent celebration of Nigel, of his life, even though, yes, admittedly, probably should have had a bit more of a focus. But in the same way, they still wanted it to be like a last hurrah of the Mitchells in the current form, because Sam's gone next week, Grant's gone soon. So
How's
they're
Sam gone next
leaving
week?
soon. I'm pretty sure she's leaving soon,
Oh.
as far as I know. So I think for me, it was like the last hurrah of these Mitchells in the current form. It's putting shit to bed with the Julie stuff. It's wrapping it all up. I did like the. I still think the framing around Mark getting trapped by Russell's a little bit wild, but I liked how they added an extra element to it in Sam actually getting a one up on one of them, where it felt like she actually grew as a character because it wasn't Sam just being made to look like a dumb bitch again, like she always does. So
So what you're
that for
telling me
me,
is Daniel Westbrook is returning to the role.
no, but yeah, I like that stuff. Obviously, Phil and Julie's like eulogy and speech were pretty good. Even Grant's attempt at doing it, because Grant's weird, right? Because he's not a good actor. He's really fucking garbage. But he always basically, if he got scenes with Jasmine and Oscar and not Oscar, Jasmine and Josh, and like basically actors who are still working their way up, he'd be fully exposed to be fucking horrendous. But he does get the scenes with Sam, with Phil, with Mark. So at least he gets a fucking barrier of, hey, they're really good, so they'll make me better, which is untrue because he's still hot garbage. But
I'm not
yeah,
reading that
Wednesday's
comment.
episode was good. I don't like. Christ, I don't. I will say a lot of the direction for me is a bit messy though, and that stuff I do agree with. Like I somehow, despite Grant being a drunken arsehole, I feel sympathy for him because Mark still calls him a prick. He saved your fucking life. Surely he gets a little bit. Surely he gets one less spit in the spit sock. You know what I mean?
No,
Surely he gets that little bit extra. Obviously, people like, no, fucking 8 grand. Should have come back, fucking prick. But I feel sympathy for it, even if he was a jackass
I think
towards
Mark's in
the
the
end.
right. I think Mark's in the
I
right.
don't.
I do. Grant's been an asshole.
I think they're both being arseholes.
I just think he's
I
being.
think Mark's an asshole because the Mitchells have saved his ass again, and he's like, "Yeah, well, fuck you.
Actually, if
I
you
did it all by myself."
if you watch Tuesday's episode, they didn't kidnap him. They clearly had a nap with him. If you watch how they put him in the van, they weren't kidnapping him. They were
Snuggle time.
Wait, Ash, and I couldn't say the actual word I wanted to say, but did you see that ransom note they left them? Hey, handsome, time's up. I was like, that is a time you clench your ass cheeks. Like that note was fucking dodgy as fuck. That's a woman. All
I'm saying is Russell wanted to set up a date with his wife, but he's not on it. Come on, Mark. Come on. You remind me like me, Mark. You remind me like me when that's Julie. I can't do the husky voice, but still,
Mark was taking the pound down.
Still, fundamentally, I dislike. There are moments where we're supposed to feel for the characters, and I don't feel for these characters, and I don't feel for any. I feel for Nigel. I like the Nigel stuff. I feel for Phil. Feel for Julie. I don't feel for Mark. He's a prick. He's a prick, and he keeps getting himself into situations he can't get out of. Then he runs back to Phil and he runs back to Grant. And when they help him, he just looks at him like, yeah, well, I was going to get out anyways. You fucking weren't. You were going to get shot. You were going to get fucking shot. And all you do is you go, oh, well, yeah, fuck you, Grant. Fuck you. Like, fucking, come on, a bit more growth, please. You nearly died. Does he even, like, have a nice moment with Vicky? No, he doesn't. He just continues on his bullshit. Fucking with Lauren. And just being like a little smug prick. So where's the sympathy? It's the same thing with Jasmine and fucking Josh. Like now Josh is seemingly the bad one because he's being a little fucking hussy trying to get with Jasmine's boyfriend in Oscar. Being the baddie, trying to break them up.
But I feel like they're
supposed to be having, and also they're having scenes where it's like, oh, we grew up together. We have all this chemistry because we're siblings. Siblings. Then we have this really good chemistry. You have none. You got none. I get it. You're actors. You only just met 5 minutes ago, but fuck me. You're supposed to have a bit more chemistry. You're siblings.
But my problem is this the Josh, Jasmine, and Oscar stuff. It's reminding me of the Bobby Beale with Anna. And Freddie, where obviously Bobby was the true one, but then they went no, it was Freddie. Because I feel like I like obviously we love the queers on this. I don't know why I said that in the most Irish way possible, but we love the queers. Like
we love the gays. We do.
Yeah, we do. We love the old gays.
We love them.
Yeah, and like obviously we want Josh, but it feels like Ben Wade's been like no. The direction is Jasmine and Oscar. I was like, it's not though. The fans probably want Josh. Well, all the people who are not homophobes.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't really think they want either.
To me, they should just be a vote. Just vote for it. I know it's being filmed, but it'd be better as a vote. Because then you at least...
Well, no, I see... Because Wadey did work on Hollyoaks, he does have that kind of take where he did work on Hollyoaks, so he gets that little tarred brush where he's like, the triangle's very Hollyoaks, where it's like you're supposed to be building up both sides, but I don't want either. I don't like either of them. I think Oscar's the fucking king. He just gets to do whatever the fuck he wants. I'd watch a 30-minute episode of Oscar eating a curry and then spending the next day on the bog. I'd watch it because it'd be really funny, wouldn't it? But I don't want Jasmine or Josh with him because neither are good enough and they're both flawed. But Oscar's my beautiful boy and I love him.
I do agree with you. I don't want either. But if I had to pick one, it would be Josh. But I don't want either. Because I also don't like how they have to keep reminding you that they are siblings. Yeah, you told us once they're siblings. Yeah, you told us twice they're siblings. We know they're siblings. You keep fucking telling us they're siblings. We know. But they just have to keep reminding you. And it's just like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's the fact that we're like, we used to play this game as kids. It's like, I don't give a shit. Fuck off. Go play in front of a car and see if it hits you. Fucking hell.
Jesus.
I don't, like, honestly, not Oscar, Josh and Jasmine are one of the weakest bits of this era of EastEnders. And that's going with Grant.
It's just how they keep getting the really big, important. They keep getting They keep getting a lot of like exposition and scenes to try and build the chemistry, but it just doesn't work for me. And like, I feel like the moment where Oscar like finally starts necking it on with Josh is supposed to be like, oh shit, and it's like, ah, well, Oscar's just as bad. Lies, lies. Oscar's the best.
Did you? Hold on, I have to read this like Ross Kemp. Did you know they're siblings because Zoe is their mom, and she found them? It's a miracle.
Did you know? But all of which to say, this week was alright though.
This week was
Wednesday's
alright.
episode for me hinges it a whole lot better. It's one of the better episodes that they've done. This one's not been announced, so of course, well, it kind of was announced, but not really. So when it's not announced and they can just show up and have a good one-off episode, they can do it roughly. But it's just, I don't know. It's like I feel like a prick as well. I feel like an asshole because I'll see everybody on everybody on Twitter where everybody's like, oh, this episode was 10 out of 10. It's really good. And I'm like, what the fuck are you watching, guys? What are you like? Has anybody else ever seen? Now, this is not in a way to shit on someone, but I'm going to shit on someone. But nobody's in this stream. Anybody ever seen the tweets of like Ryan Soap King 25? They tweet about 700 tweets a day about EastEnders, and 90% of them are all fucking atrocious takes.
Read some of them out for us.
Sorry, I'm just scrolling through all these 7,000 tweets. I really enjoyed the Mark and Lauren scenes over the last couple of weeks. The dynamic between Jacqueline Josser and Stephen Aaron Sipple is fantastic, and I feel this could develop into an affair that will be really invested in leading to the flash forward.
Nope.
The chemistry between Morin is absolutely incredible.
Right, get your hand away from your pants there, young lad, and get the Dorito crumbs off you.
What a duff. Dramatic scenes. You guys are giving Oscar too much credit because you like him. He's been annoying this week too. Oh yeah, no, fully. Like, I love Oscar, but I think he's getting bogged down by the love triangle. That's my take on it. He's the best bit about it, but it doesn't mean that it's all like good, because I do agree, it is annoying. Fucking hell, someone's had a sneeze on the keyboard.
It was the Ryan King fella. That's from there.
But yeah, they tweet about 700 minutes a day. Just trying to scroll through a bunch of them is just fucking outrageous.
Can you find out if he liked the shit CGI fire?
Give me about 5 minutes.
I will. All this to say...
Mate, I've scrolled down for days, and I'm only 2 hours ago.
All my rant from earlier on, just to say, I didn't mind this week. I just didn't like Wednesday's episode, was all. I just thought it was a horrible episode. That's just it. This week has been...
but even in comparison to a lot of the shit episodes we've had this year, that one was terrible.
Well, it's been one of the worst. I didn't say it was the worst.
Like, even with all the stakes.
Yeah. Because I just wanted more focus on the funeral. That's all I wanted, was just more focus on the funeral. So let us, for once, not deal with other drama. Just focus on Nigel. Because the way you felt to me was, I know you want to build the future, which is fair enough. But how you do that is at the end, you just have, like, oh, Mark didn't show up to the funeral. What's he doing? Mark's been kidnapped. Oh no, we've got to go now. And then today you do that. Because the entire premise you could have lingered on is Mark's not answering his phone. Is Mark okay? And the end of the episode, after you do... before the like send off to Nigel, you go, what's that? Who's this? It's Russell. Oh, he's been kidnapped. And then they go save him, because then you've at least given the funeral like enough time to breathe and enough time to develop. Whereas by having the funeral interject in the middle of it, it just feels like it's supposed to be a Mitchell crying episode with a funeral, which doesn't work for me. Because I feel like you can't really have the gangster shit and a funeral the same episode. It's like having a chocolate bar and then having like sweet and sour sauce on it. And it's like it's not. Two flavors don't blend. It depends what chocolate it is.
Yeah,
Like,
but I guess it's for me. It works because it's the Mitchells, but still, I don't necessarily think it works because they have aged out of it at this point. Like, do we really need fucking 60-year-old Phil and Grant grabbing pipes like, oh fucking end you? It's like, well, you're not though. You'll put your back out, son. Like, fucking. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I guess my retort is just how much more would they have done? Would we have got more of like Lee and Julie, like
yeah,
Crete and Get?
I put more focus on Claire and Lee because they are a key part of Nigel's character in my eyes. Because my entire argument with Claire not being there was I've watched. I know this might sound silly and you might laugh at me. I've watched the tribute to Nigel EastEnders did, and I've seen the scenes where he's fighting for Claire in court to get custody of her because she doesn't want to stay with her actual dad. Like, so to me, it would be better to have Claire react a bit more instead of just being like, he's dead, isn't he? Like, because I want Claire. I know Lee can be questionable, but like Claire should have at least had a bit more. Like, what annoys me is probably, and I might be wrong in saying this, fucking Lofty and Mary probably had more in Dot's death than Claire and Lee had in that episode. Like, and the two
Slightly more, I'd argue. But I don't know. For me, like the issue is both Lee and Claire. They have very limited amounts of time. Nobody really here from the 90s are here now. So, like, she had the scene with Ian where they both kind of went like, "Fucking hell, it's you." That was that. But like, other than that, Claire, like, she interacted with Bradley. Like, it's not. Basically, she doesn't know a lot of people here, so it's not like. And she interacted with Lexi. Like, yeah, probably could have done a bit more, but
I don't know, like Lee's question, you don't have him to interact, but at least have
like
Claire see the
at least
coffin.
for me, the nice bits with Claire was just her kind of comforting Julie. But yeah, she probably could have easily done more.
Like you could have Claire like initially not believe it and be like you're lying, and then obviously they bring him to the Croakers or Cokers to see Nigel, and then obviously you have a moment where she cries because her dad in her eyes is in the coffin, despite her like even though he isn't his he isn't her birth dad. She's still upset, but so the fact she just comes in and says, "Oh, Julie, you need a hand to write this," and it's like that's all you're bringing Claire in to do. Like considering I know Claire Bates is not an iconic character, but considering like she does hold a bit of weight being related in some capacity to the Bates, that's all you have her do. Yeah, she just shows up going, "Did someone die? It's a bloody funeral in here, isn't it?" So like, you could have at least had something with her, is my opinion. That's just my criticism. Is I wanted the funeral to have a bit more of a focus. I didn't want there to be split between like crime and the funeral. Like you could have still had the Mark stuff where like Grant is worried about Mark.
I guess I wouldn't mind it had they have separated the crime. Like, let's say the crime peaks up during Wednesday's episode and ends in Thursdays or whatever.
Yeah, no, literally all I'm saying is you can keep the aspect that Grant is worried sick, that Mark is not answering his phone. You can keep that, and you can have even like slight jabs at the funeral, even at the church, where Grant's like, "I'm really worried about Mark." And at the end of the episode, just has Mark being kidnapped, and then I know people go, "But Nigel doesn't get his Julie thing." How you put Nigel's Julie thing is you do it on Thursday, and you have Julie leave, and then you pan to like if you want a photo of the Mitchells, and you have her leave to Julie's thing. I'd have him kidnapped in front of them all after the funeral, says Luke. Yeah, that could have worked a bit better. Would have been funny though, because imagine they go on the horse, they steal the horse.
I think it's also because they wanted the fact that they had to do this. It was a bit of like I think it was supposed to be a bit of comedy within because they are going to a fucking hostage situation in a hearse. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't love it either though. That's my problem. Like I enjoyed it a lot in comparison to what we've been getting recently. But it still doesn't mean it was great. And I still disagree when I see everybody like, "Oh my god, that was fucking tremendous," and "Oh, I love them." It's like, yeah, don't give them that much credit though. Like, and that's just this era all over, really.
It's like I'm not even looking
Like,
forward to.
I like a lot. I like a lot of the ideas. I like a lot of the moments, but the general kind of the aim where it's going, I do not believe in it in the slightest. And like even this week's, and I don't even really even the fucking Mark and Lauren partnership continuing. Like, what have they learned?
Nothing.
What has Mark learned by punching Grant that he doesn't need his dad that he knew all along? So now he's just stood up for himself, and now he's just now he's just going to continue doing shit, despite the fact that his debt has been paid and he doesn't need to do it anymore. He's just going to keep doing it. He's just going to keep doing it and keep causing more harm.
Well, like, what are you setting up with Mark and Grant? Is my actual question. Like,
Nothing.
yeah, because like it's interesting if you bring Michelle back in some way, but you're not bringing Michelle back because you're still holding out for Susan Tully, even though you don't need her. You can recast her. You've already done it once. You can do it again. All you have to do is just you do it because you do it with Dermot Dolan. You don't mention him. You just don't mention 2016. You have a cheeky laugh and nod to it, but you don't mention it. That's all you do. You just go, "Hey Michelle, remember when you were a teacher in America? Ha ha ha! Shut up. Move on." That's it. That's literally all you do, and you can bring back General Russell. Like, she doesn't even have to be here for 4 years. All she would have to do is show up. Like, she could show up for the funeral, be like, "I'm here for the wedding. I'm a week early. Sorry, my flight came early." All you'd have to do is appear for that week and appear for the funeral, and then when Grant lashes out at Mark, you put Michelle going, "Do not talk shit about my son." Literally, because if you cause that's all you have to do. You literally just need Michelle. It works a bit better if you have Michelle there, because Michelle is the mother, and Michelle obviously hates Grant, from what we know, so she wouldn't like him. Well, excluding the time they did bunk up in 2016, but she generally doesn't really like him. That's what I personally think. Like, Michelle would work perfect in that scene.
And obviously, like the Lauren and Mark stuff are first to gear up towards the flash forward about, oh, why is he within the family? Is he a big part of the family? What happened? What changed? Blah blah blah. And yeah, they will. They need money. They're getting money. They're getting money through underhanded tactics, but they're not criminal. Well, Mark's a criminal, but Lauren's not a criminal, and Lauren's also got an addictive personality. So suddenly, when the money keeps flowing in, she keeps getting that better life than what she's currently got. It's more exciting. The grass is greener type deal. Suddenly, gonna like fucking destroy the family, and who's gonna be pushed too far? Yeah, probably Max. But
like I generally think, and I know this might be controversial, I generally think Michelle should be a key part of this era if you're focusing on the Fowlers, because
yeah,
the problem you did, and I know this might be a bad comparison, but it's like you've blown your knee out, and then it's like, well, I've shot my knee out, and it's like, oh, but I have to run a marathon tomorrow. It's like, you've already shot your knee out by killing Martin. So I know you're bringing in Martin's like nieces and nephews, but you don't have Martin, and the only stand-in you have is no one, because Sharon is obviously away for whatever reason. She can do what she wants. So you have no one there to really be the like dad or mom to Vicky and Jack. Like, to me, it'd be interesting to have either like a recast Michelle or original Michelle, even there for a short stint. It would be interesting to see her in that capacity. Like, she like, because to me the whole Grant Mark scene works, but it doesn't work well if you just have them on their own, because like no one can really stand up to Mark, because Mark is obviously on his own island. He's never really interacted with his cast. Like, Lauren is not going to stand with him. She's going to be a private like investor. So Michelle would be great to have there, to be like, "Grant, you asshole, did you pay child maintenance, you prick? No, you didn't. Fuck off. Sit back down in your chair and do a bridge of lies, you prick." Like, like, because I feel like she should have just been there, but that's just me.
yeah, but she's in that kind of unique category where they don't want to recast her because it makes it feel like it's never going to happen. But if they don't do it, it's never going to happen anyway. So It's that kind of ridiculous set of time
But
period
I just want to
to
know,
me.
like, what has changed in 10 years that you don't want to recast Michelle? Like, you've done it once, you can do it again.
Well, that return happened. Unfortunately, they don't want to. They don't want to repeat history. And it's not hard to not repeat history. Just don't fucking write the character into a fucking
Yeah,
grave. But
exactly.
like,
Like,
I'm sure it's a kind of bit of trepidation, really. Well, I feel like the EastEnders team, but you would feel quite kind of. I feel like most EastEnders executive producers, I feel like they want that kind of thrill of somehow convincing Susan Tully to come back. I think they want that sort of like, yeah, well, nobody could do it, but I fucking did it, and I made it great. I feel like they want that thrill, but by doing that, they just don't really. But then maybe they just don't feel like there's a place for Michelle. I don't know.
like she could just appear, like she could like Ansel make guest appearances. Like, that's all. I'm not asking for her to be a permanent character. All I'm asking is she makes some appearances to represent
Yeah, do a short stint.
Vicky and Mark, to be the stand-in.
Do a short stint. Explore the relationships between Mark and Vicky, and them as a family unit. Hopefully, whenever this happens, Sharon's back, and then you go from there. But yeah, I don't know. Like you can tell the fucking, you can tell a lot of the joy about current EastEnders has fully waned for me because it's like I can't even be bothered to argue about half this shit anyway. I don't care enough to like argue properly. That's the sad bit because I want to like this era, I really do, but there's just a lot of weird directions. Like I said, I get that Mark and Lauren are always to deal with the devil. She's going to regret this later on in life when it all blows up in her face. It's Lauren. She's doing Lauren things again. But I think and that's why a lot of us don't want to see Julie go, and that's why a lot of us are sad that the Nigel stuff's over, because that was a lot of the heart of it. But the issue is you were mostly getting the heart from the legacy characters like Phil, like Julie, like Nigel, and now we're left without them. Now we're terrified that how are you going to apply that heart when you don't have the characters who have been around for 20 years? You're trying to establish new people. Like, they've not been the same.
Have you know, there is a legacy character on the show. Don't know if you know this. Michelle Ryan did reprise her role as Zoe Slater, so there's your legacy character.
Yeah, but she was never a good character in the first place.
Yeah, but she's your legacy character. Written by Ben Wade.
I mean, obviously, not to say they don't have legacy characters. Like, they still have Kat, they still have Alfie, they still have fucking Kathy, Ian. They do have legacy characters still. But a lot of these characters aren't being written as kind of overtly as the others, so that's it, really. It's a weird blend of new and old, but a lot of the newer characters don't even fucking hold a candle to any of the older characters. But a lot of the older characters aren't getting the prominent positions. Like, what's Phil gonna do now that Nigel's gone? He's probably gonna have a fucking long break. Like, he's probably chilling for the next little time period because it's just like he's fucking done a good solid year and a half worth of storylines. So yeah, I don't know, man. I want it to do better. I want it to be better. And I still argue it probably is getting better, but it still has a lot of those teething issues because first, like maybe it's part of the autism where I like to generally know where things are going. I don't really like flying by the seat of my pants. I like to generally have an idea. I like to have a little bit of a plan as to a bit of comfort as to know what comes next. And I don't really know what's coming next because they keep teasing stuff with trailers, but they don't give anything away in the trailers. They just say something's gonna happen this week. It's like, oh, fucking hell! Like, give us something, and I want to know what's happening. And all we know is flash forward, and like a couple weeks from now, some vague ideas. And I also they're trying to bridge the gap between old like new characters and older characters, and you would expect that these newer characters are supposed to like find their footing and become really good slowly, but they're thrust into positions too soon that they don't really deserve that sort of character growth or development. Mark Fowler, Josh, Jasmine, B, these characters who I would probably like give in about 3 to 6 months, not fucking right now, because now they're suddenly on our screens every fucking episode. that we're just supposed to enjoy or tolerate because they're tragic, but they're not fucking tragic. They're tragic. And that's the whole point of the character. It doesn't mean I like them. Why the fuck do you think Ben Mitchell got shuffled away years ago? Because people were sick of the character being so fucking tragic that every time you had to announce a storyline, you'd have the people who would be like, yes, we love you, Ben. And the character would go, oh, for fuck's sake. That's the issue for me. They just keep doing it. Tragic doesn't mean people care. And they have to learn this. I don't give a shit about Jasmine or Josh. I want to like them. But by having them fucking have scenes of them trying to remember a song or them playing whatever dumb game they were playing, that's not character building. That's not how you do it. You can't just force character building on people and expect them to like it. So that's my problem. They're trying to do too much too soon, and well, they're trying to do some stuff too much too soon, and the other stuff way too fucking slow. That by the time anything happens, you're just happy that it's moving forward, not that it's happened. There we are. That's the rant. How many clips are being farmed out of that? 73.
Just feel like that, like, just you have no real characters holding this era up, because the characters you have representing your era are not representing your era well. Like, who's representing this era? Zoe, Anthony, fucking Josh, Jasmine, Max. Like, and again, I don't want to make it like a year ago. A year ago, who was announced to return? Michelle, Ryan, and Zoe Slater. 20 years on from the Den Watch murder, as much as we bring it up, and even though it is brought up in the show like every 5 minutes, because it's like, Zoe, you remember that? We've got 5 people from your past from 20 years ago. But like last year was announced, Michelle Ryan will return as Zoe Slater. This year, who has been vaguely announced who's going to be the, in quotations, Zoe Slater fill-in? Gray Atkins and Joel Marshall. Like,
yeah,
you know, I think like, you don't have that, guys. You better watch. Like, who's really at home going, oh my god, Digital Spy announced Gray Atkins is returning? Who's really going, oh my god, I need to watch EastEnders for that? People are generally going, who the fuck asked? Like, that's generally what people are going with. Who the fuck asked for this? And that's the major problem, because no one wants Gray and no one wants. They want, and I know, like, it's a stickling point because we did talk about it yesterday or Tuesday about Ronnie and Roxy. But like, you want that Ronnie and Roxy return where it's like, this will get you intrigued. You don't want Gray's back, but how's he back? He's in prison for murdering 3 people. Well, he's got mental health problems. That's why he's out. It's like, that's not like, I know he doesn't have mental health problems. We don't know what his character is. It's been recorded like 2 weeks before it happens. But like, there's literally nothing to suggest of what's happening. Like, you're supposed to be excited for this. In a night, everything changes. And it's like, what changes? Oh, instead of putting on blue boxers, George is going to put on black boxers. Isn't that going to be the night that changes everything? He's wearing his black boxers now. Isn't that cool? It's like, no. And also, it's just, you like, I'm not saying trailers have to give away everything. But you at least give people...
They have to give you something.
Yeah, you can't just be like, George, sit in the NASA chair. We're going to push you up and down you go. Whee! Like, who cares? Like, who really cares about what happens with Gray and Joel? Who really... And plus with Joel, do you want him to go back to him being a misogynist, woman-hating piece of shit? Or do you want him to be a reform... I know reforms are...
Excuse me, I think he's based. That is a joke.
Like, do you want him to be reformed or not? Like, it's just like... You're not winning.
Reformed?
Didn't know he was a reform voter. But, like, that's my major problem, is you don't have anything to get people hooked into. Yeah, you have in the night everything changes. But really, who's really... Like, your focus is for that Max and Cindy. Fair enough. Who else is in it? And don't do the in one yet. Like, Denise and Yolanda all night. Ian and Chelsea. George and Nicola. It's like building a. It's like being in wrestling and building a fucking stable, and it's like, who are we getting? Al Snow, Val Venus, Gilbert, Eugene, the new world Eugene order. And it's like, who the fuck wants that? Val Venus world title run in 2026. Fuck off.
Yeah, I think for me as well, I like how Piggy just went shit Ash ranted for a minute. Let me get him catch his breath. I'll get this. And then Luke goes, Piggy's rant, cinema. Fuck you. What about my rant? What about my
Respect,
fucking rant? I was here for 4 minutes.
respect to Eugene. Eugene did do an all right job.
But no, I think also like even just taking a look at the Grant stuff, I thought they were at least gonna like advance the story with Mark. But no,
Yeah.
it's just the same as it was when it started. Like maybe when Grant leaves, they apologize to each other and they make up and they say, "Oh, we'll keep in touch," and then the relationship starts to heal. But the way it is right now, it's just gonna continue being shit. So what's the fucking point? What's the point of doing this? You've had Grant and Mark finally had scenes. It's not like Grant's gonna be back in 2 weeks. He's not gonna be here for another 10 years. So you can't just say, put that on hold, put that on the back burner, let the water boil. You got to fucking do something now. He's going to leave in 2 weeks. He's not going to be here in a minute. So fucking advance the story so Mark is in a position where maybe him and Grant are working on their relationship and it's in a better place than it was when it started. But you can't just leave it in the same fucking place. That's just ridiculous, isn't it? And that's the annoying thing. Like I'm expecting growth. Where's the growth from Mark? He nearly died and he's still a prick. Like, where's the growth? You nearly died. Your family saved you, and you go, "Oh, I can't do anything but myself." But no, I'm tragic, and even though I have gaslit, yeah, they will obviously rush a reconciliation, and that will be the final moment. But still, it's like fucking. Ah, we have to. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed at the lack of development where it's supposed to be like they're developing. Jasmine and Josh are supposed to be way more developed than they are, but they haven't really blossomed that. They've gotten better out of the Zoe stuff. That stuff has gotten better now, but equally, they've just kind of regressed in a way. They've started to regress because they aren't in that big storyline, and now, like Luke says, we are in purgatory. So, Jasmine and Josh got better after the Zoe stuff ended. But now we're not getting the Zoe stuff. And now Jasmine isn't getting to know Zoe, which was the whole fucking point of this storyline and why it was introduced. We don't introduce Jasmine and Josh to not speak to Zoe. That was the storyline. We spent fucking 8 months building up to this, and now we've not seen shit. We've not seen nothing. They're just bouncing around in the same places. Like, fuck's sake, just give me some upwards mobility. Give me some direction. Give me some momentum. Death ball somewhere forward. Ride it to the teats. Who fucking cares? But give me something a little bit better than what we got. Like you're just giving characters shit, and then you go, oh no, but this is character building. This Mark nearly got murdered, but his family bailed him out. But does he give his family a second chance? No, he's just gonna keep doing the crime. What? The problem that got you into this in the first place? Fucking idiot. I don't know, I'm fully tilted at Mark. I was liking Mark up till this week, but they've lost. It's like when your mate brings out the ball and it's like, oh, let's play football. Someone kicks it over the fence and they go, oh, are you going to go and get the ball that you kicked over the fence? And they go, nah, I'm going to go home actually. Fuck you! You kick the ball over. You go get it, you prick. That's the rules. We're all poor. We only have one ball we only have one ball altogether.
Luke,
That's because Jimmy has a medical condition.
Luke says, I still think Mark was.
One ball, Jimmy.
Right, hold on. Luke says, I still think when Mark was kidnapped, he should have been suspended above a tank full of sharks. That would have made Russell quite a badass.
Yeah, but how is he getting sharks in London? You know what I mean?
Yeah, piranhas.
The only sharks he's getting are the fuckers from Dragon's Den.
Yeah, hang them. Yeah, fucking get Trump there. From a
sushi restaurant. Yeah, just hello, can I get 2 iron brew and 3 sharks, please? Yeah, sound. Being there with 5. What?
The fucking.
But you can't just get shitty little diddy sharks.
Fuck. Just
Comes with free baby oil.
Just.
Mate, I'm well now out of control. I've gotten fully
I'm just imagining. Sorry, I'm just imagining fucking the Deliveroo driver pulling up there. Right, what did he order? 2 iron brews, 3 sharks. 2 iron brews, 3 sharks. 3 sharks. What do you mean 3 sharks?
But I've got 4 in the back.
He's not a gypsy, so it wouldn't happen. Just panning
at
you.
This rate, at this rate, the only way he's going to be able to get any drama out of these things start killing big characters for shock value, and that's when things get dangerous. I mean, I know Piggy loves mentioning Tim, but on reflection now, the Tim stuff just felt like shock value now.
Yep.
Just felt like really big shock value. You establish him for about a month, and then suddenly, boom, he's on this horrific thing to Johnny rather. And this was supposed to, once again, this was supposed to be the big character development of Johnny. What's Johnny done? He's just said Linda's shit for 2 months. Fucking more. Stop undercooking everything, please.
Piggy had the last laugh. Bring Tim back.
How's your shock value? I just want some momentum, boys. Just give me some momentum, please. Anything.
I do agree, though. Like, I do agree that Tim was like shock value, but he was there to like try and build Johnny's character. But the problem is, you build Johnny's character and then immediately forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Luke sums it up.
All these characters are in the penis explosion chamber. There's been no explosions yet. What's the point?
Luke is
part of the fun.
Luke sums it up by saying
the super secret special mystery explosion chamber room.
Luke sums it up by saying that's another thing that's wrong with Ben Wadey. The error is that nothing really feels like it gets enough focus, or if it does get focus, it always feels rushed and it's always underwhelming. Yeah. He's good. I think Ash has to go now. He has to go to his lovely house and have a nap. If the puck ran that
I'm getting kicked out. No, yeah, I've definitely
if you want to stay, mate, you can stay.
I've been shouting for too long. Ben Wadey is the best at edging. He must be
a proper gooner.
Fuck's sake. Ben Wadey is the best at edging. He must be a proper gooner because he edges us and never gives us a proper release from the penis explosion chamber. Just want the explosion.
Just cut.
If I've been here for 3 weeks, may as well get exploded. Why not?
It just plans the Parliament of just fucking Keir Starmer going, I am a bit of a gooner.
If this was Twitch, I would have a penis explosion chamber emote, but YouTube would not be too happy with that. I don't know what it would even look like, to be honest, but
it's just a mobby huge in a chamber. That's all it is.
The edge is better than the explosion. Give Wadey a chance. I like how SD Cricket Fan did say what bits do you like about current EastEnders, and we just didn't pay attention to that because he wanted to keep complaining.
Look, SD Cricket Fan, you fucking slut, we're not answering it. You dumb bitch.
You Ben Wadey shill. Paid actor.
You know, like how we're like in wrestling. There's like Johnny Gargano who loves to defend Triple H. He's the right hand man who loves to defend. That's SD Cricket Fan. He's the Johnny Gargano. Ben Wadey did nothing wrong, guys. He delivered a solid week and did nothing wrong. It was shit for SD Cricket Fan. It was good. It was shit.
Yeah. I think once again, for the good, I'll say that I don't think it's necessarily all Ben Wadey's fault. I still think he's in the unfortunate position of following on from the inevitable lull period after the 40th anniversary. It was always going to be a hard challenge, and also because Chris Clenshaw had like a fairly raised time, even though once again Chris Clenshaw's era wasn't timeless, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't reflect too greatly on it. And with that, it was always going to be a hard task to follow up on it. And I think that there's been a lot of intriguing character returns. I think there's been a lot of interesting shuffling of the characters. Like, yes, even though Teddy Mitchell was discarded, I like George and Nicola and the Mitchells and the Knights being this new blended family. I do like Linda, Elaine having their own new thing to do outside of the Vic. I do think the Slaters have been a breath of fresh air when they aren't doing anything traumatic, when they're just fannying around the place and Mo's stealing the cue of the line of the bath. She's jumped in on the bog. I like that stuff because it's fun and it's what the Slaters are supposed to be. It's what they were when they were initially introduced. I think they've done a lot of they've done a lot of good like casting or raising of characters who weren't that prominent before. Oscar's fantastic. There's potential with Jasmine and Josh. There is. It doesn't feel like it right now, but there is. Once you get through this awkward teething period, once that finishes, I think they can be genuinely good. I do think one of them's probably gonna be gone in about 2 years. Not gonna lie. I think one of them's just gonna not really manifest into anything properly, just like Zoe Slater, just gonna be sent to a fucking Viking funeral, just disappeared. I think Max has been somehow Max is a revelation 20 years in, but he's still fucking tremendous. Oscar's really good. Lauren has ascended to being a genuine, like, maybe not icon, but she is ascending to that status where she is a genuinely, like, bona fide star who you probably could give that sort of Stacey Slater, she gets a storyline every year type deal. I think she's at that level now. I think a lot of the family units have been built up properly. And I think that I like how they have taken a lot of risks in trying to raise a bunch of newer people in to kind of oppose the older characters. I do like B, probably is going on a little bit too long at this point. I do think that I like the increased focus on Honey and Billy. I like the increased focus on the family. I like, but there's a lot of cool pieces here. I like the bit not being afraid to change shit up. We've changed the Vic from being the Carters to the Slaters. We've changed Walford East from being Ravi's to George's. We have there's a chance we still change Harry's barn again. Like, they're not afraid to change shit up. What do you mean that doesn't exist?
It's been changed to Penny's shop.
Yeah, true. That's being changed. Yeah. But there's been a lot of sweeping changes. It's just I don't really think it's a lot of it's just not manifesting into anything with any feel. Nothing has that long-term luster for me. I think that's the biggest problem. But fundamentally, I still think there is a lot of good, and we have complained about a lot of it. But there is a lot of good. There's a lot of good moments, but we're just really struggling with the consistency. And that's where it really annoys me, because EastEnders was the most kind of consistent soap, and it's been the least scrutinized soap. It's not had any accents. It's not had any major cuts. The BBC are fine. It's not like ITV, who have axed like fucking 15, 20 people, and Emmerdale that's axed like 10 people over the last 2 years, and Hollyoaks, which doesn't even have the same time slot. EastEnders is in a really good position because of what came before, but there's only so much time where the audience stops enjoying it because we're not seeing what we got before, which was really good. And it's a ticking time bomb, and we're all designated for the penis explosion chamber. We're back there again. I don't know. Just thought I'd end that rant before it went on for 5 minutes.
What do I like about this era? Well, I know I didn't put the full cam on for you.
Okay, nothing, like.
I know, like, I didn't put the full camera on for you, but since I'm leaning over, like, just slowly trying to, like, leave.
Also barely hearable.
Yeah, sorry, hold on, let me just move the microphone. There we go, that's better. I'll put it back to the two of us now. What do I like? I like the Zach, Vicky and Ross stuff. That's been one of my favourite bits of this era. I really look forward to the wedding next week. The wedding generally has as top priority of being one of the best bits about Ben Wadey's era if he delivers it right. Followed up by, of course, the following week where it is done with the whole, like, in a flash everything changes. I know that was Chris Clenshaw's one, but that was obviously the better one. But like, I'm excited for the next week's wedding. I do wonder when Joel will return. I do like when Joel will return. That's all I've really liked about this era, to be fair. And Eddie, of course. Eddie being here, he's been fantastic. Love racism in EastEnders, love it. Yeah. Mostly my favourite bits. I don't.
Surely there's more you like.
No, not really. The Nigel stuff wrapped up, and that's mostly it. It was Nigel, the Ross, Vicky, and Zach stuff, and Eddie. And we've lost one of those things. You can see why most weeks I'm miserable watching the show, and why I've chose to sometimes. And you understand why sometimes I'm doing a live stream. It's easier to watch the episode with a crowd.
Yes. Yes.
Because I don't enjoy much. Also, for people who don't understand Luke's comment where he says don't mention racism and EastEnders, he's still got PTSD from the recording earlier. If people are confused at home about the recording from earlier, that will be going out to members next week. Luke, in the 1985 EastEnders, there was casual racism with Lou Beale. Obviously, a black person came into our house, which was Calvin, and she went, "Please don't rob me." And I said, "Racism needs slapping down." And then Luke had a thought about it and went, "Please don't clip this." But I'm going with Calvin needs slapping down, which I go for racism.
Shouldn't have robbed the house.
What'd you say?
I said shouldn't rob the house.
Ash is defending Luke. Luke did nothing wrong. He's going to be the lawyer showing up there with a suit and tie.
Yeah.
It's a fucking baller quote.
But like I said, it's even though, but equally, I suppose why it's basically why it's complaining, why we've been complaining a lot for me though. It's just a simple matter of fact is it's on a massive come down from where it was before, and we got pretty privileged with where it was, and we got a lot of really good stuff with the previous era. So it's just been kind of disappointment after disappointment in this new era, where unfortunately we want it to be really good. It's not like we want it to be bad. We have to talk about it every week. We talk about it every week for well, maybe not me entirely, but spent more than at least 160 weeks in a row talking about the EastEnders. It's not like we ever want it to be bad, but it's just reached the stage where we've not really gotten what we expected, and so the expectations get lowered or changed to something different, and then those expectations don't get met in the same way. So it's just that kind of, there's just been a lot of disappointments, right? Like Christmas was pretty rough. New Year's was pretty rough. The anniversary was pretty rough. And now we're just getting really bare minimum episodes. And it's just that kind of, it's the state of play. There's only so many times we can still watch something that we think is objectively bad and say, no, trust me, it's going to get better. Because we watched it all. We've been watching every single piece. And we want it to be better. And it is getting better from where it was at the start. But it's still not great. And that's kind of the expectation where we want it to be.
It's sort of, and I know this might sound silly to say, and I know you'll be going in a few minutes, but it's sort of like the Simpsons effect. It's sort of like the Simpsons effect, because obviously, I know this might make a little sense, but obviously, if you're in the Simpsons fandom, or you've at least went online about the Simpsons, everyone says the golden era of the Simpsons is roughly season 2 to 3 to season 9 to probably 10 or 11, and anything below that is like Zombie Simpsons, and then shut up, don't talk about it. But obviously, why I'm comparing this to EastEnders is obviously, I want to say EastEnders is like Simpsons' golden era is recently, has been 2023 to 2025. So now we're sort of back to the zombie era of EastEnders, hoping for something.
Even in that sense as well, it's not like it's not like I'm ever saying, it's not like we're ever saying that 2023 EastEnders is the best EastEnders has ever been.
No.
It's in comparison to what came before. Yeah. But even then, years prior are way better than that. But that was the best of what we had then. And it's just kind of, I like 2023. I think it's a really good year. But it's not like it's, once again, it's not like it's the best year in EastEnders history. There are way better years than that. But for what we had versus what kind of came before, it makes it look great. It's like, say, your partner's slept with someone with a 3-inch bobby, and there's you with a solid 5-incher. Suddenly, everything's a lot bigger in Texas. Never happened to me, of course.
You say that. He was a part of it. He was the woman.
Ugh.
He told me it was fine. I like the idea of you pretending to be a woman doing that. But yeah, I feel like
Why do I have to be a woman?
you could be a man. You could be a man. Yeah, he does get around with that. The most sexual asexual. Yeah,
Round, get around, I get around, woo!
I don't know why, but I like that nickname for you. The most sexual asexual.
To be fair, considering the internet, there are a lot of competition for that. All right, I'm just gonna quick fire what Luke said, and then I'm gonna vanish. To be fair, because it's come off the back of quite a solid popular era on the whole, anything Wadey did at least to start, unless it was gold, would have suffered as a result. So I do feel a bit sad, because it was sort of like setting them up to fail, when for an inexperienced producer it also feels slightly unfair. Like he's been fed to the lions at one of the worst times, because the show's at a peak that it hasn't seen for a while, and they put pressure on somebody that isn't as experienced, suffers as a result. I mean, yeah, but he still took the job. Like, obviously, if you're selected for the job of EastEnders executive producer, you firmly believe you can carry the show and direct it to the future. But yeah, Ben Wadey is inexperienced, and oftentimes it's why the soap executive producer, other than in the last couple of years, has been a bit more gambles. The role's quite incestuous in a way. It usually goes like, oh, here's Kate Brooks. Oh, here's Ian McLeod for the Coronation Street stuff. Oh, it goes from Ian McLeod, and oh, here's fucking Kate Oates now, and oh, there's John Sen, he's back. Brian Kirkwood, he's back. Like, it's quite incestuous. People keep going back and forth. That so to take a risk on a newcomer, it was what they did with Chris Glenshaw, where Chris Glenshaw was a fairly fresh-faced newcomer, but he had success. But the main issue is, I'll take it like the football example. If you manage to sign like a 18-year-old wonder kid who's fucking sick and he bangs in 20 goals a season, and you sell him, because you have to sell him for ridiculous money. You can't just keep getting an 18-year-old wonder kid who's really sick, because at some point you're just not, maybe your scouting's off, maybe you got some weaknesses. Like, you at some point you're not gonna the next player you're gonna buy is gonna be a bomb, and that's the kind of same thing with this. Where I don't I feel bad, and it's like, we shit on Ben Wadey a lot. That's true, because of what came before, and I always maintain a lot of his error is kind of malaligned because of what came before, because of the standards that was set in the previous era. But still, he still has to do it. Like, it's been a year now. I'm sorry, if you're inexperienced before, you're experienced now. You're in the hot seat. You're in the hot seat of the BBC's flagship soap, the at least top 2 biggest soap in the UK. I'm sorry you're struggling. Either fucking get out the kitchen or just get fucking cooking. And he's not been cooking, but it has been getting better than where it was. Oh, bloody hell.
There you go.
Which of the older EastEnders producers do you reckon is likely candidate on this for somebody to come back for the new era? If at all, do you think they'd go for purely fresh blood? I think we're at a stage where we're going for newer executive producers these days. I think it's going to be like runners who grew, or assistant directors, or I think that we're at the stage where they're not going to employ a John Sen. We're not going to employ a Kate Oates again. We're not going to go for Brian Kirkwood. We're not going to go for like Matthew Robinson. I feel like a lot of these faces have kind of dined out. A lot of these executive producers have had a good time period and then a bad time period with something else. And I feel like we're at the stage where they kind of want fresh blood in a way, and they want someone to be a Chris Glenshaw. And equally, as I always say, even though Chris Glenshaw is currently viewed as like the fucking barometer, as the like, oh, it was really successful, I still maintain Christmas or January 2025 is some of the worst EastEnders I've ever seen in my life. It was fucking miserable. And 2022, even though we only took like a part halfway through, still the half of 2022 that he did was garbage. Like, I we glorify him now because of the plaudits he gets, but his error was saved by a really strong 2023, a kind of very inconsistent 2024, and a very successful 40th anniversary. But it's not to say it was all good. Like, it definitely wasn't. And there were definite. Well, we did a video of it. I think it came out today, maybe. Did it come out today? Who the fuck knows? But we did a video essentially gauging, like, Wadey versus Clenshaw. And yeah, it came out yesterday. But all in all, it's just kind of. Basically, it can always get better, but it can always get worse. It's that kind of oxymoron. And it only takes a good couple of weeks or a good couple of episodes for people to suddenly change their tune, just like Chris Clenshaw did when we suddenly started getting that really exciting, like, spring of 2023, when Cindy and Ian come back, and then George comes back, and then Cindy is George's wife. It's like there was a really big kind of period where it blossomed from being a disappointing disaster to what it ended up being, which was quite good.
You forgot to mention the biggest return of spring 2023. Ryan Malloy.
I think that was February.
Yeah, and
which is winter.
Yeah, but not anymore.
What do you mean not anymore?
Oh,
Piggy, change the dates of winter.
Have you seen the fucking weather nowadays? We get fucking summer and winter. Climate change, brother.
I'm not buying that excuse. Not you fucking life is strange in me. Why is it snowing at 70 degrees? Climate change in it, way. Fucking.
Climate change.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. It's not fucking spring in February.
Ah, well, you've just grown up with the wrong education.
All right. All we need is hope. I'm a football fan. Fuck off. Hope doesn't get you anything. I'll start hoping when it gets better. You know what I mean? I'm not praying that it gets better. I'll watch it passively and I'll see if it gets better. And if it does, fine. But if it doesn't, I'm not praying for it.
Why do you think he stopped doing the podcast, Luke?
I don't think I could handle it. I don't think I could handle it anymore. To be fair, that is true. SD Group found till the end of Wadey era. I'll always hope that it will get better and being improved point solid and beloved. You know, I feel like Ash is getting to a point in the evening where he starts to lose brain cells by talking to all of us reprobates. Yes, it is. But I'm the leader. I'm the leader of all the reprobates. What does that say about me? Secret fan says, mate, I'm an Arsenal fan who went 22 years without Prem. Hope got me through until this season. You are a gooner. Certified gooner. Also, you've only mentioned being a gooner after they won the trophy. Coincidence? I think not. I don't know, I'm just fighting everyone. I'm just angry.
I'm just
angry
fiddling with my stick. So that's all I'm doing.
Save that for later.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. Big trouble.
Yeah. But no, and also I respect the whole idea of I respect that also we can't fully judge it till it's over. But we're also covering it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
It would all be quite shit if we went like remember when I was saying, look, I don't mind the Ravi stuff if he turns out to be a villain, and Piggy's like, no, they're not going to do that though. And I go, no, but look, we can't fully judge it yet because we don't know where it's going to go. And then Piggy predicted where it was going to go. Like, it's the same with the flash forward. You can't set up the expectations of saying no. You can't critique it because the flash forward's not happened yet. It's like, yeah, but we have to judge what we got. we have to critique what we have. And yeah, so, and also it'd be fucking boring if we didn't, because what the fuck would we talk about on a weekly basis? This is our whole shit. We do fucking football punditry, basically.
Yeah, I can't wait till we get bought out by the BBC for 2 million, like the fucking other guy that did it. What's he saying?
Yeah, and then fucking Gary Neville's just gonna be here instead. So, guys, what do you think about Phil Mitchell versus Grant Mitchell? Well, Gary, all I've got to say is I'm a big Grant head. I do love Grant. I do love it when he talks like this.
I do love when he talks like that.
But what I've got to say, Gary, is you understand my position, but I must say I disagree.
Gary, are you a true EastEnders fan? Because if not, get out of here. Don't be in the kitchen when the cooks are cooking.
And also, it's not like, yeah, sure, we do spend a lot of time complaining, but I feel like I always make it a point to say, I always make it a point to try and have a positive spin on it towards the end. Like, I always say, it's not the worst it's ever been, or it can get better. So it's not like every video's like, EastEnders is dying and it's shit and here's why. It's like, look, it's been bad now, but it can change. Yeah, I'm spinning in circles. It's 19 degrees. I'm red-faced like Big John. And it's time to go. I think the criticism and the praise is always fair and warranted for when you give it out. So yeah, I don't think you're overly negative, overly positive. I think you're just honest and a straight shooter. I'll show you my straight shooter. That's been pulled off the air. See ya, everyone. Bye-bye.
Like fucking Brian Pillman.
See ya.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Give me a second. Hold on. Feel it. Oh, trying to figure this out. Hold on. Yeah. Look at that. Left my bathroom light on. No. Hey, has he messaged me? Has he messaged me? Back in the home, Ash. He... EastEnders can't hurt you in the home. Well. Do. Just doing this for chat. You want to play along at home? There you go. I thought he said see you to both you. He didn't fucking say see you to me. I've been fucking streaming, sweating my tits off. I built this channel. No, I didn't build this channel. He's fair enough. He can do what he wants. Luke, since you are here, fucking let me paste this. Luke, since you are here, can you? Do you want to help me? What should be the topics? I know Nigel is technically a topic, but what else should be a topic? Because I feel like there's only one topic. I think there's only one topic, isn't there? One seven seven? I don't fucking know. One seven seven. 21 of 2026. All the episodes. 18. 5th. Thank you, Ash. 21st of the 5th. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I feel like I'm only going to do one topic because the Eddie stuff's not really important in this week. I feel like I'll just do Nigel. That's all. Yeah, I know some suggestions. I'm not like saying no, your opinions are shit. I'm just saying I think I'll do one topic because it is all about Nigel, and probably send off that, Been doing this for 30 goddamn years. Changes. Turn the faces. Changes. Eddie still causing tension. I'll mention that in the introduction, don't worry. Changes. Alright, so. Here we go. Right, I'm going to start. Right, ready, lads? 1, 2, 3. Hello, fellow watchers and enjoyers. It is I, Piggy, once again joined by, in the chat, Luke, the EastEnders archivist, SD cricket fan, and Lewis156YVF, and Ash occasionally just to troll me. So yeah, there's all the people in the chat with me. We're here to bring you yet another edition of the Watching Walford podcast, live, technically live on YouTube because it's on the live stream, but obviously filmed for people to watch on Sunday. Woo! To explain how technology works. Yes, and I'm going to bring you all the gossip from week 21. It's episode 177 of the podcast. Don't know what that was, but it's 177. We've been here for 177 editions. I've been here for 175 editions. But anyways, that is that. And yeah, we're going to cover the biggest storylines today, which from the 18th of the 1st, of the 5th, all the way to the 21st of the 5th. We have one topic, which is Nigel, Mark, Lauren stuff. It will be in whatever order. And we have the introduction, awards, thoughts about the show, and the outro. But yeah, so firstly, I'm going to do a little what I didn't want to really bring and give its own topics. So quickly just mention there is some tension with Gina and George over Eddie Knight. which does happen and sort of does linger in this week, but it's not a huge part. And also Oscar, Josh, and whatever her name is, Jasmine. There we go. All have tension. Jasmine and Josh play a game together. Jasmine is mad that Josh played with his mom, well, his stepmom. And then Josh and Oscar have a bunk up in the pog, and Eddie is continuing to die slowly in the Mitchell house, as slowly and surely he can do. And yeah, that is all I want to mention about that. So yeah, I'm going to now move on. If anyone has anything they want to say in chat, feel free to say it, and I will read it out when I get to the awards and thoughts about the show. Because obviously, the awards for Ash go to the audience like they always do. Sorry, I've had stew before the recording, so if I'm doing that a lot, you know, I'd had stew. So yeah, we move on to the first topic and the only topic: Nigel, Mark, and Lauren. So it's been an interesting week if you're a big fan of any of these characters. If you're a fan of Nigel, if you're a fan of Mark, or if you're a fan of Lauren. So what has been happening? Well, Mark still owes a debt, D-E-B-T, I think it's how it's spelled. And he has to pay this debt off. Obviously, Grant ruined it because he was going to have a lot of time, but Grant ruined it, and Mark had to pay by the end of this week. So throughout the week, he's desperately trying to get some sales. Lauren's fridge goes AWOL on her. The fridge works itself into a chute. And Max is not really trusting Mark, but he does try to get her to sell one car to this one guy, but she doesn't. They end up selling it to someone else. And Mark is all out of luck. He threatens Priya that Ravi should give them money, but obviously she doesn't have any money because Ravi didn't leave her any money. And so he goes to steal the safe full of cash, but he thinks about what Lauren will need the cash. They'll look after Big Jim. So he doesn't rob it, but he leaves his keys behind, which is a key part. But about Nigel, now we get to Big Nigel. Big old Nigel. What has he been up to? Well, he's been dead. So, but in this week, it's all a touch and go as they're preparing for the funeral of old Nigel. Julie makes some preparations. She can't figure out what to say at the funeral and what to do, so she just keeps thinking of words to say, but she can't get the inspiration. And also, what has happened? Mark has been kidnapped, so she keeps thinking of the words. The Mitchells go with Billy, and they tell Billy, "Can you please go to this to this warehouse?" So they bring Nigel on one last journey to the warehouse, and they have an intervention with Russell and the gang. Russell has tied up Mark like a rotisserie chicken. So he's tied him up, and they've been flogging and beating him up, is what I am making the assumption. He has bruised faces, bruised back, bruised arse, probably bruised everything. And yeah, so they make it just in time for the funeral, and Mark is there, but Mark can barely stand. And yeah, so Julie finally has something to say. I believe she reads out some of Nigel's letters that he left her. And yeah, so she reads that out. She says, "He's been a great man, he's done some great things. I love Big Nige, he's always been a fan of my work. I love him so much. I'm so sad to see him go, but hopefully I'll meet you in another lifetime." It's basically what she says, because hopefully he is now reunited with Debbie. But it's up to you, whatever you want to believe, who he's going to be reunited with in the future. But yeah, so he's gone now, and back to how Mark gets freed. I know I'm touching going this, I'm going in and out. But how Mark gets free is they go to the warehouse. They ask for money. Grant is going to give him some money because he sold his businesses, and yeah, so he sold his businesses. and they give him a watch. They give the guy a watch. It's Billy's old watch, spoilers, but they say it's Nigel's watch, and they can have it. Which Sam gets one up on him. And after that, like the funeral goes ahead, Grant and Phil have some words to say at the funeral. They say some stories are left better unsaid, and then Claire doesn't really say anything. She tries to help Julie write a speech. She initially says use AI, but Julie's like no. But yeah, Claire does help. Lee's also here. Lee does nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's also interesting. They leave. The funeral happens. The Mitchells go back and they have a lovely toast to old Nige, and they go to the garage and they look at a picture of Nige up on the wall and they drink to him in his honour. They obviously get Phil an orange juice. So yeah, they drink to him. There's a Julie's theme for him. The following day, Julie opens the letter, and it's Nigel saying thank you for everything. I appreciate it, and yeah, basically says thank you for loving me, basically. And she's heartbroken, as I'd assume you would be in that scenario. She's heartbroken to lose her like loved one, but yeah. So Phil brings her to the pub, and they all want to throw a party for Julie, but she does an Irish goodbye. Which, if you don't know, an Irish goodbye is when you sneak out and don't say goodbye to anyone. And she's gone to soulmate. Soulmate would be the right word. Thank you, Luke. So she sneaks out, and then Phil thinks he's lost her forever, and he goes to the tube station, and basically asks to see Julie, and Julie basically says, Phil basically says, just let me on and see my friend, but they say no, you can't leave, and he's like, fucking let me leave, please. And yeah, Julie arrives, says, Phil, I haven't left yet. They keep talking, and then they have a hug, and she says, thank you for everything, Phil. Goes up and leaves the tube station. She gets a lovely goodbye. I need to watch the behind the scenes they did with Julie's final scenes, where she leaves, goes to get the train. She's gone now. Sadly, no more Julie, no more Nigel, sweetheart, Nigel. But back to Mark. It's Mark's birthday, the 21st of May. It's my nanny's birthday. She would have been 90 this year. So it's Mark's birthday. I believe it's also someone else's birthday. It's Chelsea's 40th. Yes, it's Chelsea's 40th. She was born 40 years ago, so 1986. So 1 year after EastEnders. Let's fucking go. Just like bloody Zoe, not Zoe, fucking Piggy. I don't know when Piggy was born, but yeah. But yeah. So Mark is Grant basically brings him for breakfast. Grant says you could at least thank me, and Mark's like no. And then Grant just drinks his worries away at the bar in the Vic. So he has a drink, and then Kathy goes over and says you should talk to your son, and he says no, go away. Harvey coming over getting his double knee surgery payment. Basically, there's no problem here. He pushes him and looks, what are you gonna do, huh? And then Mark's like, will you just leave? And then he says some stuff to Mark, does old Grant, and then they go outside, they have a little scrap, and Mark punches him because Grant has sold his businesses, and Mark doesn't really understand why, like, this is a big deal to him. But to Grant, he has lost everything and gained nothing from it. So he sold the businesses. He gets punched in the face, and Mark says everyone would be better off if you left. So Grant is drunk and presumably going to leave within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Unless he's sticking around for a bit longer, but I don't know. So yeah. And then we go back to the car lot, and Max finds Mark's keys, and realizes that he's going to break into the safe. It was that or Lawrence, was one or the other, and And yeah, so with that, we move on to the final scene. Originally on Mondays or Tuesdays episode, I think it was Mondays. Um, Mark says to Lauren, "We're partners," and they go, "We're business partners." And today they confirm they are business partners in Thursday's episode. So yeah, that is most of the stuff happening that with this week. Sorry if I felt a bit rushed and a bit all over the place. I had to try and remember like a lot of things that happened, but I'm going to move into um the awards and thoughts by the show, where I will get chat's input on this now. So if chat are reading this, go ahead and leave your suggestions of like what you want me to read out. I have some comments by Luke, but if anyone else wants to leave comments, go ahead. Not to bury you, Luke. You do a great. You bring a great podcast with me on the Classic Podcast. Um, so yeah, I will say my thoughts is it's an alright week. I really think Wednesday's episode hampered this week. Like, cause all I wanted from Nigel's episode, like his send off, is that he gets a send off, like they do, like Sean, bury me softly, brother. Exactly. Like all I wanted from him was that we just get a bit more of old Nigel. But I understand you want to build to the future. Just Wednesday's episode felt a bit weak because you brought back Claire and Lee, and they done absolutely nothing. I know Claire like has a little interaction with Lexi, but still. So it was nice. It was nice, but it was an all right week. It wasn't the best week, but it was all right in the sense of nothing really happened. But again, nothing is really going to happen for this week and next week. Even though next week is Vicky and Ross's wedding, I don't really think anything will happen. Because obviously the first week of June is going to be the in a flash everything changes. So it was an alright week. It wasn't a bad week. It wasn't a good week. I did have a rant earlier on a live stream. I probably angered my neighbours, which I do apologise to them. But I did get a bit frustrated earlier on in the live stream. But yeah, um, I'm going to read some of the chats. This is by Luke. Says Julia really think had the best exit she could have, as she was never staying long without Nigel. That's just fantastic, but it's sad. It's sad, but it's also good they didn't run her into the ground and to go away. Heat. I feel bad for Grant as he's trying and gets no real support or chance to repair the damage of not being in his life. But that's more of Michelle, as she's never told Grant he had a son. Chris Clench. I'll get rid of that one in a minute. I'm disappointed that Claire wasn't more part of it. I would have liked her to do a speech at the funeral of the wake. Maybe get help from Lexi if she was too emotional to read the message to Nige. Exactly. But with that, I move into the awards. And yeah, we have a few awards. We have the Chris Clencher, the Anthony Truman, underrated, and who needs slapping down. I do agree with Luke. For the first two, well, the first one mostly. The Chris Clencher award for me is going to Julie. Julie has done a fantastic job of like being a part of it and being a part of the show for a year, and really getting to know everyone and seeing her develop as a character has been really intriguing to me, and I love that so much. I like seeing what she brings to the table. It's nice to see what she brought, and she brought a great excitement to it. I don't know. 670 says I really should have had Claire and Julia's son Lee interact with more characters since they've no reason to ever return. I do agree with that. I do agree, Lee, with that. Didn't really work. But yeah. So yeah, my Chris Clencher is going to Julie. Who needs slapping? No, who needs slapping? The Anthony Truman from Most Wouldn't. I can't give it to Nigel's Coffin because Luke has already stolen it. But I will give it to Grant being drunk and doing his announcer voice. Are you going to hit me? Is some of the stuff he says. So yeah, that's the Anthony Truman. Underrated. This is for whoever. Underrated is I think I'm just going to give it to Julie again. Julie was underrated this. I'm not. I'm going to give it to Claire and Lee because I can do two picks. Claire and Lee were great in the return, and they've done a fantastic job. I know they barely did anything, but they did an alright job of what they wanted to achieve in these weeks of episodes. Why's my hand gone numb? not know why is there a pain in it? God. But yeah, I do think that Claire and Lee are underrated, and I really want to see more of them. But who needs slapping down? Well, it's got to be Mark and Grant for both being assholes and not working out the problems. But what I'm going to do is, as I usually do, I'm going to pause the recording and let the fans comment, if the fans want to comment, that is. If you guys want to comment, go ahead and comment now and I'll read them out. I'll just gonna... Yeah, I'll return in a second. Sorry, this is not really engaging. I'm just hoping that someone at least suggest. I don't know. I will resume in a second. Sorry about that. Sorry about the pause. I was taking a break. My fucking hand is. Sorry, just give me a second. We are back. Yeah, sorry. But yeah. I just took a little quick break from not speaking, and I paused the video, obviously. But yeah, I think now we go into the outro. I can't wait until I go to the outro, and then everyone's like, "I've got something to say." And I'm like, I don't know. It's just my little rant. Let me have my little rant, please. But yeah, this is now the outro. I do want to say thank you to all the watchers on this channel. I just want to say thank you all. Bloody hell, I can't get a YouTube Studio. I don't want. Anyways, I move on into the section where I talk about the memberships. We've got quite a few members. since last week. So we have Leo Burton in fans. He joined 0 days ago. We've Dizzy Flora in. No, I don't want to read that one yet. We've Leo Burton in fans. Leo Burton 7702 in the fans. They joined yesterday or today. At time of recording this on a Thursday. Aiden 017 in fans joined 8 days ago. JX Brana 225 been a fan for 15 days. Milk Box been a fan for 1 month. And Ollie Kingston 7530 has been a fan for 5 months. And in the watchers we have the Rivets, who's been a watcher for 15 months. We have I won't read SD Crick fan out yet. Surprising Solace, who's been a watcher for 6 months. Luke the EastEnders archivist, who's been here for 4 months, 3 months on the watcher level. Dizzy Flora joined 3 months. Has been here 3 months. And SD Cricket fan, who's been here for 4 months. So take a boo, everyone. You deserve it. Thank you for the money. Thank you for everything. We wouldn't really be here without you, and I do appreciate you every single time. If you comment on the streams, if you help me out with the podcast, I appreciate every single one of you. But I feel like that's where I'm going to end it. See you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. I did read you out, though, didn't I? Look, I did read you out. I hope I did. We'll read chat in a second if chat have said anything. Just doing this. Alright, get back to chat. I'm here, everyone. How is everyone? How is everyone? How are we all feeling? How are we all doing? We all doing good? Get some rest. A busy day tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to be covering Hassan tomorrow. I've broken the thing, so I can't really. Yeah, it's not really working anymore. It's limp like me. I can use it when it has hand eyes because I have a second one down in the sitting room, so you know that. It would be it would be funny to open the classic podcast, the one where he dies. It's just like he's dead. Blow the fucking thing, Piggy. I don't know why. It'll just be funny. It would just be funny. It'd be funny for me. I don't think it'd be funny for anyone else. It would be absolute cinema. Well, I don't know. Well, it's only going to the members, so I could do it, but I'll probably do it at the end, where it would be less insensitive as compared to if you do it at the start. In case you get a new member who has never watched the channel before, so you do it at the end. You don't do it at the start, if that makes sense. You do it at the start. You go, Hassan's dead. Like people are gonna be like, "What the fuck? This guy's a bit of a dick." But I am ready to, like, when we finish 1985, I'm ready to go to the 90s. I can't wait to see what 1990 will bring. Hopefully, my plan is hopefully for the next month or so, probably up until August, is to do a good, like, maybe 1 or 2 recording days where I do one, like where I do where I do 2 on each Friday. We start at an earlier time unless you're busy. That is my goal up until August. Well, until we reach about September, October would be my plan, because that's what I plan to do. So I want to get a bit of ahead. So when I at least get near to when I at least at the end of July, start of August, get to doing the Christmas 85. I want to know at least some good landscape I have of going into that Christmas, watching it for the first time with Ash. Obviously, if we do 2 tomorrow, we'll be at the end of June. We'll be just going into July, and then we would the next week would be 2 weeks, but should lead us to the end of July. We would be probably by the start of August, in the middle of June. If I had to guess, would be my guess. And then obviously we're going to get to the end of that year, and the podcast can stay on for members only until I get sick of doing it. So that's good news for you, Luke. You will be contracted for many more days. I don't know what you want me to buy you for Christmas, but I can buy you a tin of sweets or something. I don't know. Whatever you would like for Christmas, I'll try and get it for you. Not £1 million though. I'm down to do it. I'm obviously excited to go into a new decade, because if people don't know, I know this might be boring for people who don't watch the podcast, but like I love 85, but I don't want to cover the rest of the 80s. Because generally, and I don't mean this meanly, like I don't mean this rudely, it's just the fact the 80s, I want to go into a new decade. I want to go to the 90s. I want to see how, like obviously, no, I want to give you something at Christmas. You decided to step up for me, and I do appreciate that. But I want to like go to 1990. Obviously, off camera, we will watch Christmas. We will watch the month of December of '89 going into 1990. But I do want to see what I know this might sound silly, but I'm more convinced to do the entire decade of the 90s than I am of doing the entire decade of the 80s. I know the 80s would just take about 2 years, but I do want to have like the 90s done first. That might sound silly, but I want to like at least do the year 1990, or maybe like just do the year 1990 next, just as a nice waypoint. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I know for people who don't watch we can always go back to the 80s and stuff if we ever get enough of the 90s or whatever. Exactly. I at least want to get 1990 and maybe 1991 done. But like, when we get to the 3-episode format, that'll be fine. But like, I'm going to we will try and wrap it through 85 in the next couple of weeks. Get to a good like a few months ahead. Even if like because it would be nice, and plus I can always put them the memories, and they'll always come out weekly, So even if they're bulk recorded, it'd be fine. We just don't really talk about modern EastEnders, or we just allude to some stuff. Would be my takeaway from it. I want to get to 94 for Peggy to be a proper character. I can easily do that because again the 90s seem fun to cover, and yeah, there is some good scenes in it. Obviously, you have Frank and Pat, and obviously that decade of characters is a pretty good lineup. Yeah, that's pretty much my thought and process of it. Yeah, because I do want to do the 90s. Because 85 is more interesting to do because it's been 41 years, but the 90s just seem a bit more. I say this now, I can't wait for 1990 to be a slog, but it just seems interesting to do the 90s. We'll see how far in the 90s we get and stuff. Flavored. You mean the cup behind me? That's you just grab. Sorry for that. Started out with a bit of a show. Let's look to turn off my light. Is kind of showing, but it's the Fantastic Four cup. Lights up. It's the Johnny. Like they had a bunch of them. They had like the. Wouldn't really drink out of it. Would be the thing. It's a collector's cup. Lights up because obviously Johnny Storm, and I like it. I also have the Super Mario one. So I have two of these. And then I have an Indiana Jones one. So yeah. This one lights up. The Indiana Jones one is a hat. So I mainly but if you're wondering what drinks I have on my desk, I have a can of Sprite and a can of Coke, 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, 0 calories. Which is probably fluff, but yeah, that's well Sidona. I do drink Sidona as well. The problem with Sidona is if it's been so you know like how I would occasionally leave drinks people won't see, but I usually leave drinks on my desk and build them up to bring down to obviously put in the recycling bin, bring them up to the recycling bin and recycle them and get about €9. But I don't know how to describe it. When Coke and Sprite go flat, it sort of tastes alright. Like you can still somewhat drink it. When Sidona goes flat, you can't drink it because it's just it's too sweet and sour. It's just horrible. But I do love Sidona. Sidona is one of my favourite drinks. I don't like drinking it too often though because it is just a happily drink. It'd be like drinking cider too much. Like you just don't want to drink that as often. But it is nice. Obviously, I think there's much of a difference between Coke and Pepsi. I see Coke and Pepsi like the war between that as like when they won. I know it sounds silly, but like in wrestling when they do like Raw and SmackDown are at war, it's like yeah, but it's just for you to like to do your brand, like or like when like people are like the war between EastEnders and Coronation Street, and it's like there's no real war. Like you will like some people will have different drinks. Like I usually get Coke, 0 sugar, because I'm drinking like multiple cans. I don't want my stomach to be fucked up. But if I have to prefer any, I do prefer Pepsi. But like I drink Pepsi like maybe once or twice a month. But I like having the difference. They're both the same. They don't really taste different. Like, they just taste the same. So they don't like I can't really describe, but they don't really have a like different taste because obviously, like when I'm drinking this, 0 caffeine, 0 sugar, 0 calories, I can't really. It just tastes like Coke, but obviously with the fluff of there's no sugar, no calories, no caffeine. But when I drink a full fat Coke and a Pepsi, there's again no difference. The only difference would be like branding in my eyes. I think maybe sweeter placebo, but I feel like Coke tastes sweeter, but that just might be I can see that comparison. Because yeah, and then obviously if you get like Mexican Coke, not that kind of Coke, but like the glass bottle Cokes, that's the best way to drink Coke in my opinion. Because I have a few places in my town that stock up on the glass bottles of Coke. And yeah, I would go. Usually, I know this might sound silly. I don't know if it'll be in your town, but usually in my town, Polish shops have it, and there's obviously a sweet shop up the town that like is imported a bunch of stuff. I usually go for a glass bottle of Coke if I want one. I've had Mexican Coke before. Right now, is fucked now. Yeah. But yeah, in all seriousness, yeah, I do prefer drinking Coke out of a glass bottle. I can also get Pepsi in a glass bottle. Still the best way to drink. I don't know how to describe it. Just a glass bottle is the best way to drink it. Um, yeah, Coke in the original had cocaine in it to help people get hooked. So there's that. Glass just makes it better. You're right. Obviously not like broken glass in it, but like it just in a glass bottle generally just makes it better in my eyes. I know that might sound silly, and it might be just my whole branding, like the fucking Coke versus Pepsi war. That's just how I see it. Just like there is a difference between having a Tesco Cornetto and a Cornetto. Like there is a subtle difference, but it's not really a big difference. I know that might sound silly, but it's like if you eat off-brand food versus on-brand food, like like um, but like oh, I assume that means can. I'll read that in a sec. But like what I'm trying to say is, there's no real difference between like how can I put it? You will taste the big difference between off-brand Coke and like original Coke or off-brand Pepsi and original Pepsi than you would be. Yeah, the off-brand drinks are just fizzier. They do just load the sugar. Like I used to drink off-brand Coke from Tesco because I have a local. Tesco is only really the big shop we have here, unless you count Aldi and little they do exist here. But Tesco is the one across the road from me. And yeah, I've drunk it once. I wouldn't drink it again. Eurospar is a fuck. I'll tell you what. If you wanted to drink to get high on, Eurospar's fizzy drinks, like their own brand fizzy drinks, are fucking mental. But yeah, I don't. I never had a Panda Pop, sadly. I don't think I might have had a Panda Pop, but I don't really like. Obviously, I grew up in the early to mid 2010s, so yeah, off-brand crisps are just salty versions. If I'm going for a crisp, obviously I have to got them tattooed. Obviously, you have to go for a Mr. Tato. But I usually like a Kyo's. They're probably too young. I probably am, but I do. I do remember the fucking Bob the Builder Easter eggs. Not Easter eggs, but like chocolate eggs for some reason. That would have been in roughly 08, 09, I want to say. I also remember Bear in the Big Blue House crisps. They were fucking delicious. They disappeared, sadly, off shelves. I don't think they can bring them back, obviously, because of licensing issues. But yeah, like I said, there's a big difference between off-branded drinks and like branded drinks. And instead of like, there's no real difference between Pepsi and Coke, but there is a big difference between Coke and Tesco Coke, if that makes sense, or Tesco Pepsi and Pepsi. Monster Punch is the best. Fair enough. Monster Munch is a good packet of crisps. We can only really I don't know which for trying to think what other crisps. I usually also go for a Kyo's like crisps, but they're like they're the posh crisps. I don't think you'd have them in England. Like Walkers would be your like everyman crisps, I want to say. I don't know what your like fancy crisps would be, but it would be those would be our fancy crisps. But I have a few packet of onion rings down in the sitting room, like the Tesco packets. So I like them. But any more food questions you want to ask me, I can answer. I have no problem answering these questions. But yeah, just kettle crisps or trials. Yeah. Probably kettle or trials. Would it be Kyo's or O'Donnell crisps equivalent? O'Donnell's used to have a fantastic crisp called sweet. It was something like sweet barbecue or something, and they were fucking delicious. But I think they discontinued it, which upset me because I went looking for them and I couldn't find them. after years of trying, I couldn't find them, and then I found out they were discontinued. It upset me. But I do love a packet of potatoes, smoky bacon. They were fantastic. Can't really eat too much of the smoky bacon potato. They do give me heartburn, but they were. Oh. See, I love how they just turn into their food hour. Yeah. But like, just to wrap up my point, there is no difference between Pepsi and Coke. There is a big difference between Pepsi and Tesco Pepsi. Same with like lemonade. You missed Turkey Twisters. Jamie Alfred ruined my childhood waste meddling. I know this might sound silly, but obviously I finished school in 2022. So in 2021, like just coming out of the pandemic, they were obviously like doing this. Kids are getting fat nowadays because of sweets, and like most of my class, excluding me and maybe one other bloke, were all skinny or like just a bit bulky. And I remember just them saying like, "Oh, you'll get fat eating too many crisps." And like half of Ireland is too fat now, and I'm just looking at myself like, should I leave? Should I leave? I'm a bit fat. Should I leave? Yeah, no, I always laugh at those ads because like it is the food company's fault because they do advertise the sweets, but it's like it's also the parents' fault as well. It's like the people who blame television for corrupting their child's youth. Who gave them the fucking TV remote and put the television on? Like, you probably put the television on, but they've watched the TV. You let them watch the TV, you know? That's sort of sentiment I have the same with food. Finish sixth form tomorrow, final day of school ever for me, until you go to college. Unless sixth form is college. But, or university, I guess. Hopefully it goes well for you, don't know. Hopefully you get all the stuff you want to get from it. I sort of cheated in my exams. To be fair, my nanny had just passed, so I did want to do a bit of Eddie Guerrero and money. Yeah, I like the whole like foods of fattening our kids like thing is like, yeah, you're also buying them for your kids. So you know I just don't know. That's my sort of sentiment. Like, I obviously get wind up in Tesco's when I see a little kid running around because I'm like, you should be supervised. Cause cause obviously, if you don't know, I'm like 5'11". His former is college. Thanks. Ah, alright. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. See, I only went to secondary school after primary school. I didn't do college. I think we do. Is college university over here? Might be. I don't know. But I didn't go to college. All my friends are getting degrees and shit, and I'm just a YouTuber ranting to my 1.82k subscribers. Now I'm making £30 a month, about 30 £30 each, but yeah, I always do. I do like hearing people's different stories and how different people grew up at school and that. That's why I love doing YouTube so much, because it is interesting to see everyone's different backgrounds and different beliefs and like different ideologies on school and sweets and drinks and stuff. Like, obviously I can't really talk. I'm missing like 3 teeth. Like, I don't know how to do this. Teeth. Oh, she's showing right there. Is that one there? Okay, so brush your teeth, kids. I'm not really good at showing off my mouth, but yeah. Unless it's for Luke. Typically we have preschool, infants, junior, secondary, sixth, college and university. Yeah, for me we have creche, which is preschool. And then we have primary school, which is junior infants, senior infants, first class, second class, third class, fourth class, fifth class, sixth class. And then we have secondary school, which is first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, and sixth year. Fourth year is compulsory in some schools in Ireland, and in other schools it's not. Juniors is primary, fair enough. Um, yeah, I have 40 hours compulsory in my school, but obviously the problem with me is I'm very antisocial. I like being in my own bubble. And what really made me happy was the pandemic happened. So I gladly got away from doing 40 because they went to do a play and that play became lost media. Will never be found. Because they were supposed to film it, the pandemic broke out. The play went to shit and they never redid it. But I then did LCA, which is Leaving Cert Applied. If you don't know what Leaving Cert Applied is, it's basically for dumb kids. But they do a lot different, like, cause basically what LCA basically is Leaving Cert Applied, where it is where it typically like helps kids who are not right. I'm just gonna say, because I can't say the old word, so I'm just gonna say who are less slightly developed, and it sort of helps them prepare for the real world. Like a lot of LCA is like talking about getting jobs in certain careers and shit, and like preparing you to leave, and basically preparing you for the workforce, which ended up working well for me because I did get a helper at work who was very nice to me and helped me and understood me to an extent. But yeah, I didn't really like school. But again, I do think it is necessary for people. Looking back at it now as a 22-year-old, it is necessary. I say that like missing teeth and shit, with tattoos, like bloody saying school is important, kids. But so preschool is before age of 4. The infants reception, year 1 and year 2. The juniors primary is year 3 to 6, and secondary the senior is year 7 to 11. Sixth form year 12 to 13. Thank you. Because I don't really know this, because I find knowing any other education bar mine is very difficult. That might sound silly, but that's just how I see it. But like I just did all right in my exams. Like originally I just wanted to leave the country, but I didn't. I'd have a dream job. What would it be? I've always liked being a zookeeper or something like that, like looking after emus and seals and dolphins and fucking um uh um I like that like looking after animals, like before, like 'cause my life's a bit weird. I never really had like a dream job. Feed the penguins. Yeah, exactly. I love to feed the penguins. Love to meet a gorilla and he beats the fuck out of me. But like, because the one thing that I didn't like about secondary school is obviously Piggy should be a WWE wrestler. I have said to someone I know who is a wrestler that if I ever become famous on YouTube, I will do a death match for him. I will wrestle a match against him. I have said that. It probably will never happen, but I would gladly play it for a motherfucker. Well, depending on the paycheck. I'm not cutting myself unless I'm getting paid. But like it was so weird in sixth year, which was basically um year 12 to 13. It was so weird because they were like Piggy, what do you want to do when you leave school? And I'm like, my nan has just died. I don't fucking know. My nan is dead. Like, so they'll be asking me all of this stuff, like, what do you want to do when you leave? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I would tell you, but I don't generally know because my nanny has just died. You fuckers. Like, and thankfully most people understood, but this one teacher just like, Piggy, you gotta have a career choice for when you leave school. I'm like, my nanny's dead. I don't care. It's just wound me up. Like, I generally cried because there was a I had two teachers that I loved in my secondary school called Mr. Mann and Mr. O'Toole. I don't I want to give out their last names, but like no one's going to really know. But Mr. O'Toole, I think it was Mr. O'Toole is the one I'm thinking of. Was just a sound bloke to me. He like he knew, like he but since I did woodwork from first to third year, I used to have a friend called Matthew, which in my writing I always write him because I always credit him for helping me pass woodwork. But when we were doing woodwork, obviously I'm very shit with my hands and my did I do woodwork? I believe I did woodwork. Don't know what I did. I think I did woodwork. Yeah, I did woodwork and music. Yeah, and I was very terrible with my hands. So and obviously if you know like my middle finger. Sorry, I'm not flipping off. My middle finger is like got stuck up a hand dryer. So obviously I was very scared of using like machinery like that. So my friend Matthew would help me, and he would basically help me do that. And in return, he was very bad at computers. Obviously, if you know me, I had to write with a computer. I had to type like on my keyboard and upload and print out my stuff because I couldn't write and no one could really read my writing. So I did that, and Mr. O'Toole like lied for me, which I loved. Because they would obviously have to ask him, are the students like doing the work? And obviously Mr. O'Toole would be like, yeah, Piggy's doing his work. He did the project by himself, thankfully. Yeah, he did pretty good. And I'm just like, thank you, sir. You don't know how much that means to me. I don't know, it might sound silly, but that generally, like, it's stuff like that that will always stick with you. You just remember those teachers who didn't really understand you, but knew like, well, he's trying his best. I was 26 when my grandma died last year, and I was at a mess, and still am. So I empathise with you on the loss, especially if you're close with them. Like I watched my granny killed me that day, worst day of my life. Yeah. Best bit about my nanny that I can say, she did get me a lot of days off school. So because if my dad like knew that I was having bad days, we would just lie and say my nanny was up all night because she had dementia. Yeah, no, the fucking yeah, I understand that, Luke. Hopefully you feel better now. Like I generally understand that because people will go through that. But I always do say to people like you that even if it's just one person, even if it's an animal or a child or whatever it is, if you experience death at least once, you will understand how, well, not how life works, but how like you get a better understanding at like dying isn't just you die, you fully kind of understand it. I know that might sound silly, but that's how I see it. Because obviously when before my nanny died, like all I knew was that he just died. But like seeing that she died peacefully, it was I know it might sound silly, but it was alright. It's like sad, obviously, but it was fine. It was sad, but got through it. I didn't like my family were trying to, like, it was very weird because my family didn't really understand me. They were like, why is Piggy not interacting with people? And my dad's like, he just wants to be left on his own. Just let him leave on his own. But thankfully the carers, who looked after my nanny, one of them bought me a chocolate bar from Aldi, and I kept that chocolate bar and I ate that chocolate bar. I'm okay, but I'm still not over how, as she meant the world and people don't understand. She was a grandmother and my best friend. I understand that, Luke. I understand that completely. Because there will, like I said, there will be deaths in people's lives that will mean more than, that will mean more than people realise. Like again, it's why even though I do get mad at the TikTokers who are like, my dog is my baby, even though I get mad at them, to them that is their kid. And they may not want actual kids, so them having a dog. I will catch you up in a second, E. Craven. And we're just being a bit personal here. If you want to be personal with us, you can. But what I will say is, like, even though I do complain about the dog influencers, like, my dog is my life. I do understand. But like when I hear like people, why don't you like? It's just a dog. It's like, yeah, but to people like who own dogs, to them it's their whole life. And what many people don't realize, yeah, the dog only lives for roughly 12 to 16 years, but to them that was their whole life. And it's the same with a grandparent or a parent, whatever your relationship is with whatever your sibling is. Like even if they were 92, it's like, yeah, they lived a life before you, but to them I don't know, but you were like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like that you don't realize how important someone's role is in someone's life until they're gone. Even if they don't know it. Yeah, a pet is like a child to some people, the same deep connection. Just because they're an animal doesn't mean they can't capture your heart. Exactly. Which I do complain about the influencers who are like, my dog is my baby, but at the same time, I'm looking at that, I'm like, I shouldn't really judge. I will catch up in a second, Craven, but like, is that where I'm like, I can't really judge because I did have two animals that I loved, well, three, but yeah, it's like, even if it's a hamster, you're still going to feel sad, even if the hamster is dead. Like, it's an animal. Animals are people's like world. Just how it be. But yeah, just for you, Craven, what happened this week? You missed not really nothing. Mark was kidnapped. The Mitchells rescue Mark with the help of Nigel Bates' coffin. The coffin was just in the background. He really didn't really do much. Billy was sat outside. They handed in a watch that they claimed was Nigel's, but it was Billy's. Grant sold his businesses from Portugal and got Mark the money and gave him the money. And Mark was just being an asshole. And sorry for all the doing that, but yeah. So there was that, and then that Club 7 guy, Lee, he did nothing. I'm assuming you mean Lee. Lee did absolutely nothing. He had about 2 lines. And yeah, Julie left to go to Scotland before moving to India with Nigel's secret pension. He saved her. It's just a lovely send off to Julie. Yeah. It was an alright week. What also happened was that Max and turns out Nigel stole the pension from Eddie. I would love that, but it's sadly not happening. But yeah, no, what else was I saying? But yeah, that was mostly the Nigel stuff. Some other bits was Mark was trying to get the money by. Did B do much? I think all B did was sleep in a chipper this week. I think that's literally all she did. Because if you don't know, last week she pushed Honey off a ladder by accident. She rigged the ladder because she thought Billy was climbing it. Obviously, she hates Billy, but it was Honey climbing it to fix the gutter, and she fell and broke her back, spinal. And so she didn't really do much, but she just slept in the chipper. Sorry. Wasn't Lee the son was called Josh, but played by club's member John Lee. I don't really care. Just tell me the fucking information. I don't care. It's fair enough. Yeah, Josh, Jasmine, and Oscar did have about the triangle. All right. Yeah, no, it's fine. I was just taking the piss. Don't worry about it, mate. Yeah, Josh, Jasmine, and Oscar have basically been playing. Jasmine and Josh want to play this game that they did about from their childhood, and they. Hold on, just give me a second. You know the yeah. So Josh, Jasmine, and Oscar Josh and Jasmine were playing a game from their childhood. Jasmine got mad that Josh was played with Sandra. Huh? Oh. But yeah, Jasmine was mad that Josh played it with Sandra, their mother. So yeah, and then Josh and Oscar kept having looks, and they kissed. Um, yeah, that game was pathetic. Um, that's mostly what you missed. Next week we'll have the wedding, Vicky and Ross's wedding, which will lead into the June week where everything changes. So there's that. But you missed absolutely nothing, to be fair. So yeah. If anyone else has any questions, just let me know before I go and get some dinner. You did, to be fair. I personally hope that Joel comes back next week, even temporarily, to interrupt the wedding after potentially seeing Zach and Vicky having an affair somehow during the week. He doesn't know he's seen. Oh, and Lauren folding to Mark. Yeah, Lauren's been business partners with Mark. Disappointed you? Let's hear your reasoning why. You're not surprised, alright? Any reason for that, you Graven? Just out of curiosity. I don't know. I kind of thought Hope Lauren was better than that. She hasn't snogged him yet. Not a fan of Peter, but do feel bad. Same SD cricket fan. Luke says Lauren gonna get on her back. Get Shaq. Let's be honest with Max. And Max is on. Max is on Mark being a criminal because Jack's told him. I think that Max might get protective of Lauren and go for Mark. Theo hasn't got to the affair level. Oh, though it hasn't got. I don't know why I said Theo. Though it hasn't got to the affair level. Yeah, it hasn't. Alpharetta squares to attack the canyon of the affair. Jesus Christ. I did get a comment. I want to read out from a couple of days ago. Trying to find it. Yeah, I've got a we've got a comment by Trikia Adu Conde. Sorry for the butchering. But it says I'm a member of several EastEnders fan groups on Facebook and recently realised that most of us are autistic. That made me laugh. That made me laugh. Um, it hasn't, but there's definitely undertones of it. And it seems the way it's going, especially with Lauren's addictive personality, and she's very similar to Max. She's selfish. It's just how they keep, I don't know, discussing these affairs like they were predicted in LA. I don't know. I always like one stable relationship on the show, heterosexual or homosexual. Um, and Johnny and Callum could be. Luke says he grave, and I completely agree with that. I think there should be more couples that do work, like Pauline and Apple in early years, and Jane and Ian to the extent for a long time. But no one likes Johnny. Yeah, no one likes Johnny. Sorry for the yawn. I worry that Johnny is just being used as a placeholder until they bring back Ben. I hope I'm wrong, because before Callum and Johnny, not that I really like either character. Don't mind affairs as long as there's one stable couple is left. I understand completely. I do agree with you. I don't want to see Lauren cheat on Peter. I know people want to see that, but I don't. I desperately don't. But I know that might disagree with a lot of people. I just want it to be a stable couple, but I understand it's a show, and you do have to lean into these tendencies of doing it. So yeah, I understand that completely. But if anyone else has any more questions, or if it means more comedic Peter moments, it is a consolation. Have to rely on Patrick and Yolande staying loyal to each other. Exactly. If anyone else has any more comments, just shout them out now, and I will read them out. If not, I will go in a minute. I should have to upload a podcast. Or if they had an affair, it would be sacrilege. I have a request. Okay, SD correct. What's your request? Fuck's sake, here we go again. Worm, please. I can't do the worm. I can't. There you go. There you go. There you go. There's the worm. How about that? Is that good enough for you? I've got you the worm. It's the best I can do. Hold on. Right, let me read some of this chat. Worm plays. Cat and Alfie I like, though. I conveniently forget. I want to forget 2018. He'll do the spinner. I won't do the spinner Rooney. Cat and Phil worked, but felt kind of odd. Phil, to be honest, works better single, says he Craven. Agreed, Cat and Alfie worked for me at the best in their first round. The second round was okay, and then 2018 it really went to shit. A. Craven says, Lauren and Peter, as much as I think Peter can be insufferable, it does work. I was also disappointed we didn't get more of the wake, like catching up with Claire a bit more, interaction between people, and then remembering Nigel outside the funeral setting. It would have been nice, not just Phil Grant and Sam on their own. And Peter is funny when he is usually I think Thomas thought Peter doesn't. Feels like Ian's son told Peter doesn't. As the correct fan, don't be fooled that it's not really Piggy. I hope it is. Thomas Law is the definitive Peter for sure. I don't know why they ever brought Peter back without with either a six pack and everything like a Greek god or 7 foot tall. It's the same for Lucy. I feel that when they recast her, she lost the Law character and just ended up being real cheeks. Why do I feel like that Eddie from Spider-Man 3 gives me Peter Beale if he survives? go. For old Toll for Grace. I do see where you're coming from with Toll for Grace as Venom. Yeah, look at that. I do kind of see the comparison, to be honest. What the fuck's the Kirby gift? What the fuck? Is this Kirby gift? Let's go. What else do I have? I have this. I have this. What else do I have? I have that image. More of the soulful armadillo. I have to fucking do half of these images. I would show it, but I got the stream claimed yesterday, so I can't. There you go. Look, there you go. There's the soulful armadillo. There's the soulful armadillo. Just no, you're right. I did a tribute to Nigel, which you can find on the live stream. But yeah, it's fine, Egraven. It's fine. But I'm probably gonna head off now, anyways. I appreciate Egraven, Ash, Luke, SD Cricket Fan. Let me scroll up. I believe we had Michael in as well. Was Michael also here? Hold on, let me scroll up. Lewis was here. That was good. Sorry, I'm just scrolling off. Sorry if you hear my mouse wheel. Michael, yeah, Michael Sharp was here. Michael has been great. Michael, Luke, Lewis, SD Cricket Fan, and E Craven, you were all fantastic. Thanks for the mention, Piggy. Oh, I'll always mention you, Lewis. Did I forget someone else? Did I? I'm just going to scroll up to make sure I didn't forget anyone. I feel like I forgot someone. Oh no, I forgot Dono. Also Dono 670. Thank you for being here. I forgot about you. I knew you were here. So yeah, bye bye everyone. I appreciate you all coming out. Will I be back next week? I should be back next Monday to Thursday doing the EastEnders. If people want this to be a regular thing, let me know. I would gladly do more of them. If you want, just let me know in the comments. Till tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Luke. But everyone else, hello. I will see. I will see Luke tomorrow. But if I will be back next Monday to Thursday doing the live streams, and then Ash will be with me the following week, Monday to Thursday, doing the live streams with me. So yeah, if you guys are excited to see the next. I think the best thing to do for the whole week, so you don't get burnt out doing the live stream all the time, is probably just to say for the bigger weeks or the big month or whatever. I will certainly do that. Obviously, I'm doing Christmas. I'm going to try and do Christmas this year. Hopefully that will all go ahead and work. If not, well, I think you'll find out. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone who's stuck by and who's commented and who said things, even if they were nice, even if they were mean. But I will probably be back Monday to Thursday doing the build up to the following week, because I do want to cover the Zach and Piggy's wedding. If I'm not on Monday, I will be on the day the wedding happens, but I don't know when that is. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Bye bye, bye bye, and tune into the podcast. I will be uploading shortly.